All right. According to Streamlabs here, we are now live. I'm back once again with Sargon of Akkad, a.k.a. Carl Benjamin, his fake name.
Yeah, it's covering up who I am. Really,
Yeah.
it's a secret.
The true version of you is actually Sargon, deep within.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, let me just shill this on Gab for a bit.
Okay. Actually, did I post this on Gab? I can't remember. Hold on, let me check
I'm
that.
using Gettr as well. Should be.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit upset with Gettr right now because I put out just an innocuous meme from the Rittenhouse trial, and they automatically removed it. So,
Yeah,
not a big fan of that.
that's how they're avoiding the Amazon beat stick.
Yeah.
But I mean, what can you do?
Actually,
I don't say gamer words on YouTube for exactly the same reason. So what am I going to do? Judge them?
Hey, all right. Okay, yeah, I did chill it on Gab. All right, just making sure. I want to make sure I cover all my bases.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we're now live. Hopefully everyone can hear us. Hopefully everyone's able to hear Carl, who has been speaking. So chat, let me know if everything's good. I have also posted below the new tip or whatever for Streamlabs link. So if you want to send in whatever the equivalent is, a super chat, you can feel free to
send some super
link.
chats. That's why I'm here, to get Louis Le Vau paid.
Oh yeah, well I'm gonna need it. I mean, it's pretty crazy because at work, everything is just kind of up in the air. They really haven't decided one way or another whether they're gonna shit can everybody or not, or what exactly they're doing. They haven't made a decision yet, but I'll tell you that they're gonna really leave themselves shorthanded if they do it, because they're having a pretty big problem with people going on vacation and all kinds of shit. And the federal government actually gives you quite a bit of time off.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Yeah. I bet it fucking does.
So they're having problems with staffing, and they've stopped hiring for the rest of the year. They're not hiring anymore up until, February or something like that of next year. And so if
now
anyone
all we need to do is get the federal government to fire everyone else.
Well, the problem is that it might be me included in that.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear something about the NHS? Since we're talking
go
about,
ahead.
The state. The NHS workers in my town are getting fucking lazy. The NHS in Swindon used to be actually pretty good, to be honest. I've been there, a few times, nothing serious, but every time it was efficient. It was well managed. Everyone was nice and polite. Got the job done nice and quick. Everything good out, in as swift a time as could be possibly expected. Right, perfect. But now, because of COVID, they're making lots of fucking excuses. Lots of fucking excuses. And the nurses, you can see that they're trying. Like my wife went down there with my my infant son today, and they were like, "Oh, you can't bring a baby in COVID." It's like, baby,
what?
Vulnerable. What are you talking about? And literally they were treating the baby as if it was some sort of COVID spreading hazard. And it's just like, but they were standing around without their masks on, chit-chatting together. And it's right. So this is just a fucking excuse not to do any goddamn work because you're under absolutely no pressure whatsoever from any market forces. That's what this is. You lazy fucking shits. I'm starting to hate the NHS.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really surprising.
No.
One thing I realized, especially
just looking for a fucking excuse. That's what.
On what was it, Monday, Sunday of earlier in the week, I actually had a really good day at work because I just for the second half of the day I mostly just did my job, and my coworkers are sort of moseying around, and I was chatting with them, having conversations with them, and at the end of the day there was nothing to do. And I was just sitting around chatting with them, waiting for, things to, close down. And it was a good day. And then the exact next day, on Monday, it was an abysmal day. It was horrible. Yeah. I was busy all day long. Everyone was treating me like shit. My coworkers were treating me like shit. They were lazy as fuck. They did not want to do work. The supervisor that we had running things on the floor was just a total fucking incompetent dipshit. I missed out on a break that I had to basically remind them of, hey, by the way, you're supposed to give me my break. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
So it was awful. And the problem is that from my understanding of the federal government, it is almost impossible to fire you. It is almost
it's
impossible.
It's the same here. Designed that way specifically by the bureaucrats themselves.
Yes, it's to keep themselves and their career alive. But it's like one of the things I can't stand is that if you've been on the job for a very long time, it sort of like breeds this mentality where I've been on the job for a long time, therefore you pick up my slack. I deserve it because I've been here this long. And there's one guy that I work with who has the same name as my father, who's about to retire, who I get along with very well. He has that kind of mentality, but he still has like, he's still a decent person at heart. And so while he's kind of lazy, he's still nice to talk to, and he's a good guy. But there's this other guy that I work with who is like basically the inverse of him. He has just a dog shit personality. He's a pathological liar, a pathological braggart. And I can't fucking stand him because he knows how to do the job, but he's so fucking lazy that everyone around him suffers as a direct result because someone else has to basically pick up his slack and do his job for him. And that's one of the people I worked with on Monday, and he was like just being mean towards me and other such things, and it was just pissing me off because I can't say anything to these people because the last time I basically blew off somebody, I got written up for it.
Yeah.
I got called into the office and told off, and it's like, well, I mean, what do you really want me to say? I'm not going to apologize. I mean, you can write me up if you want to, but then again, what exactly are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you going to fire my ass? Oh, wow. Oh, no. Oh, no. You're going to fire me. Oh.
God.
Well, it's funny, too, because if they fire me for that reason, I'll get unemployment. If they fire me for COVID, then I'm not. So, oh, no, you're going to fire me for telling one of my lazy cocksucking coworkers to go away, which is what I literally did. I just said, like, forget it. Like, go away. I don't want to talk to you. And
I must have told you about the
time.
time. I must have told you about the time where I got accused of harassment for telling one of my coworkers to piss off.
I think you've mentioned that in passing, but why don't you retell that anecdote?
I was working at the research councils in Swindon, and we had to do some sort of, we were administrating the website, and we had to move like all of the files across somehow, blah blah blah, and so I had loads of work to do in a short period of time, and so I'm there cracking on as quickly as it can be done, and this woman keeps coming over and fucking interrupting me. And basically, I was just like, look, I'm really busy. Could you leave me alone? And she went and filed a complaint to the thing, and that fell under harassment, quote unquote. And I was just like, okay, clown world. I mean, but this was in like 2012, so none of that was a thing. But I was so fucking pissed off about it. And it was literally the most embarrassing thing. So they had to sit me down and have a meeting. I was like, yeah, okay, what have I done wrong? I'm busy. This is not a good use of my time. It's not a good use of my time. Let's have a chat. And they were like, yeah, so, I mean, technically that counts as harassment. I just kind of laughed at them. And they're like, yeah, we know it's really silly, but you can't tell her to go away. And it's like, but that's the opposite of harassing. Not wanting to spend any time with someone is literally the opposite of harassment.
Yeah.
And it was like, right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had something that reminded me on Monday. One of the things that happened was one of these female coworkers who is very neatly in the category of these people that are close to retirement who are useless. She was trying to help someone who's having a problem, and basically before this person came to her, I had been tipped off. So I went to my supervisor and said, hey, listen, there's this person that needs help because they're handicapped. Can you go help them out in person? Can you like walk around and go onto the floor and help them out because they need help because they're handicapped? And the supervisor's like, yeah, sure, I got it. So they're walking over. And in the meantime, one of my coworkers, it's this female, was like beckoning this person towards them. And I said, hey, don't worry, John, the person's not named John, but John, who is this, my supervisor and hers as well, he's coming over, so don't worry. He'll take care of it. And that, like, really offended her for some reason. She came over and she goes, don't ever yell at me like that. And I go, what are you talking about? I didn't yell at you. I'm telling you that the supervisor's coming over to take care of it. She's like, well, you don't have to tell me like that. And I said, well, I don't really know how you want me to dress this up. Do you want me to put it in writing or something and mail it to you? The supervisor's coming over to handle the situation. Respect the title. And that's what I said to her. And she basically went to his boss and my supervisor's boss and complained about me. And they came up to me and said, well, Louis, you got to be careful. I'm like, no, hold on. I was telling her that the supervisor is about to walk out on the floor and handle the situation with this handicapped person. Okay? Yeah. I told them, and it was their position to go take up that problem. This woman doesn't know the situation, can't fucking help this person. It's why I notified a supervisor.
I did fucking wrong,
And I said, I said to you, I got written up for not respecting a supervisor's title. I want her written up in that case. If you're gonna give me shit, I want her written up. And the person just turned around and walked away. It's like, exactly. Suck my fucking dick. Exactly. I get written up for not respecting the title, but she can do that too, and just walk away because she bitched to me. So it's like, fuck you. I just really wish. It's why what's hilarious is that there's this girl there who's of similar age to me, a little bit older, who is another supervisor. She is basically one of the floor supervisors of several. And with that, you're basically not that all different than myself, but you're still in a managerial position, so you're responsible for paperwork and that sort of thing. But you're not. Yeah. You're. It's only like a taste of management. You basically just walk around and make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and she's the most competent person there, and she hates working there. She hates working there, and it's like she's the most competent person in the room. And it just drives me crazy because it's like, of all the people that should be promoted, she doesn't want to be promoted, and she's not looking to be promoted because she hates it there so much. She is the most competent person on the floor. And it's like, I hate this place.
Yeah, great.
The only good thing is that, like, whenever she's basically running things, which occasionally happens because the supervisor called in on Sunday, so she was left alone to run the fucking floor. It went smoothly. Everything was working fine. And it's like, you should be a manager. You should be a manager.
And she might even find her job more pleasant then.
Yeah, that's what I suspect as well. But it's just terrible that in the federal bureaucracy, and corporations are no different. My experience proves that as well in terms of who's promoted.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things I can't stand, and this might be something different in terms of like the public side of things, that there's like these weird, long-lasting cliques of people, and that they try to like get their friends promoted, like regardless of how incompetent or competent they are. And it's like, you just walk into that, and it's just like, well, I don't really understand how you're supposed to be looking at me like I'm supposed to be knowing things because A, I'm new, B, I don't care. Like, what is this, fucking high school? Like, are you kidding me?
Welcome to public service.
Yeah. It's pathetic. And
state-funded cliques.
Yeah, it is. It's so pathetic. And
I know.
The unfortunate part of it is that once you're there, like, I'm still technically, apparently every federal employee is a new hire, unless it's like some exceptions. You're on a probationary period for basically like 6 months to a year. And it's basically if they have any reason to fire you, or if they find any reason to fire you, they're able to and just replace you. But it's just funny that once you get past that year mark, or whatever it is, 6 months to a year, you can basically just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And the only person that I'm aware of getting fired was this black woman who, like, 2 weeks after I started out, was basically, like, walked away from her station, went out onto, like, the floor where the public is, and just literally got into, like, a fist fight with another woman. And so she got fired.
Chad, to be honest.
Well, I guess, but...
You know what to tell you.
I mean, it's two women fighting, so it's basically a slap fight. So it's probably not anything that interesting. But I've
seen enough World Star hip hop videos to know it's more serious than that. Okay, you know.
But it's just all I know is that the federal government, and maybe this is just true universally of the liberal West, it is a monster in a jobs program. And all I can say is that
everywhere, in all places and all times. That's what
I
I've
know.
discovered.
It's like, is there really any difference to the Unix today than there was 2,000 years ago?
No, exactly. The only difference is these ones haven't been officially castrated.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the difference. Like essentially the sort of like social castration is still there.
Yeah, definitely. Because the one guy who I dislike, this guy that I talked about, who's basically lazy to the point of incompetence, that he was just giving me shit on Monday. He was like, again, he's this big braggart. He's technically right wing, and he went out and got the vaccine, and was like bitching to me for like half an hour about having to go and do it, and basically trying to brag about still how he's got a big dick despite having to go out and get it. And I said to him, I'm like, listen, dude, like, I'm probably going to lose my job over it, so just do me a favor, and can we just talk about something else? Yeah. Like, here you are attempting to brag about how big of a dick you have when you cucked and went out and got the vaccine. Meanwhile, I'm about to lose my fucking job, and I need this. Yeah. You're nearing retirement. You don't need this shit. You're still going to have your 401k and the rest of it. Mm-hmm. All right? I got a mortgage, and I'm about to lose my sole source of income with no aspect of unemployment. So I'm fucked.
Hence why the good people listening should send soup chats.
Yeah, send in the Gibbs, because I'm going to fucking need it.
Yeah, exactly. Louis Le Vau is now a charity case.
Yeah, I am. Legit.
401k non-profit.
I'm going to be begging on the streets in the winter.
King... On the plus side, he'll promote feminism in video games for you. So
yeah, sure. King says to you, Carl, would you be willing to have a column section featured on the Lotus Eaters homepage, like the lovely dispatches, devoted to impassioned sermons from the pastor? And Louis, would you be willing to grace us with your fire and fury via that outlet? I don't know. That's up to him.
You would have to move to the UK and work from your office. No, I'm not having this fucking. This is a rule, and it has to be enforced.
Boo.
Gotta work from the office. Yeah, I know. But hey, move to the UK, come to the office. You can.
Would I even be able to get in there without a vaccine?
Oh yeah, fucking. We let millions of unvaccinated people.
Oh, so I got I got to go to France and then take a dinging over. That's what I have to do.
Yeah, and then you get put up in a hotel, so you don't even have to pay for any accommodation.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
I just got to make sure that
smart.
I got to make sure that when like the bureaucrats greet me on the beach, I go Allahu Akbar. I'm here to kill right wingers. So yeah, give me a hotel.
Just say you had to kill white people.
White people and Christians,
especially Christians.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant, great. Come on in.
They'll give me a map, give me a directions to the nearest Anglican church to burn down.
They literally will. They'll be like, we'll put you up in Liverpool. There was one of your friends who was trying to do exactly the same thing. It was wonderful. Honestly, I hate the way this country.
What's so strange? I mean, at least in clown world America, we have the Biden regime to point to. In your country, you are like ruled top to bottom by so-called conservatives, who are basically 2005 labor.
Yes, exactly right. And at least in your country, you have a bunch of Bible thumpers. Yeah. I never thought I'd fucking say it, but at least they exist.
Is this going to be the stream where Sargon raises the Bible and say Christ is king?
Bow down to the Lord.
Yeah, he's gonna go to his father and be like, "You're wrong, Dad. I'm a Catholic now."
No, God, fucking hell! I think he'd disown me. Like, my dad's a Protestant. Like, there's no way. No papery around here. Fucking hell, Louis.
Oh man,
Jesus.
That's what I mean.
Italian.
I'm not really. I was
raised
by Irish Catholics.
Oh, there we go. That explains everything.
Yeah. So not much better, really.
No, worse probably.
Although what's
at least the fucking Italians are like, well, the Pope lives in Italy, so what are we gonna do?
Well, I can say this about my grandfather, who was like the true blue Irishman who, for whatever reason, went to Canada. I'm not really sure when that happened, but from my understanding, he thought Ireland was a shithole and sided more with, I guess, England in like the sort of fight over, whether Ireland should be part of the UK or not. He sided with, I guess, the royals, so to say.
Well,
the royalists.
We'll fucking look at it now. It's now in like exactly the same sort of position as it was when it was under the Empire, frankly.
Sure, it's just self-imposed.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's self-imposed and woke as well.
Yeah.
So, now you get SJWs lecturing you from the halls of government about how you're a bigot for not wanting to be a part of the EU. Also, you're a fucking transphobe. And it's just like, oh, fucking hell.
The question is going to be, how long is it going to take before the churches start burning down mysteriously like they are in France?
Well, they are, of course, taking their fair share of immigrants.
Yeah.
So good
less
question.
than one generation.
Won't be long.
You know what's crazy
Won't be long.
about, not to get too much of a tangent on immigration, but it kind of speaks to one of the main issues of integration, where the first generation are fine relatively. I put fine in quotations.
Yeah.
They make decent guesses, but the second generation are totally radicalized lunatics.
That's a really fair way of assessing it as well. They're good guests. They're people who came to the country obviously because they don't hate it, but the second generation, it seems to me that they feel like they've had something stolen from them, right?
Well,
they feel
they haven't
been denied or something.
They haven't been given an identity, so they have none, and so all they're left to rely on is one of the old world. And so when they find themselves in a place that isn't the old world, they just wig out and want to start killing people. Yeah,
and they start like connecting with their roots, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm surrounded by sin."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, that's it. Time to bomb a church. So.
Yep. And I at some point I got to release this commentary that I recorded where I talk about like how the immigrants that have been brought to the country and the so-called refugees, how they're basically doomed to fail, and the sort of upshot is that eventually when the music runs out and the money runs out, that I'm hoping a lot of these people just go home. I'm hoping that that's the result.
Well, I mean, if the circumstances here are anything to go by, like we get 400,000 of them leaving every year, but 700,000 of them coming in. So it is likely that they will simply just leave. Because they're not tied to the place. They're here just for financial reasons. They're just like passengers.
The funny part is that when should that occur, if and when, the funny part's going to be sort of like, I think the right wing is going to have a very serious identity crisis, because the whole aspect of, oh, well, come to America, work hard and make money and blah, blah, like when that's dead, then what?
Yep.
Now what do you have?
Yep. So that was your selling point.
Well, I know what I have.
What do you have?
Nativism. So that's
well, I mean, that's what we generally call conservatism.
Oh, is that it? It's not, like quasi vague libertarian bullshit claptrap. That's not conservative.
It is. No. It is, because that's actually the English heritage.
What's that? Liberal claptrap?
Yeah. That's where it came from.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
There's no getting around it.
The problem is that, like, I don't see, like, anything that was written by liberal philosophers. I mean, well, not all liberal philosophers. Some did, but I don't see, like, let's say the founders, for example, like,
oh, they're nothing like the liberals of today.
Creating or like positing the idea of like America is, well, no. I mean, the liberal notion of America is an idea, and a nation is an idea. I don't think any of the old liberals actually believed in that.
No, that's because they didn't. That's a very American innovation.
Yes.
Like, a nation isn't an idea. That's the thing. A nation is a collection of people with a hereditary claim to a place of land.
Considering that they considered the first generation of Americans, that being, the English, Scottish, mostly UK stock, to be the first generation of Americans and no one else, I don't know.
Well, we've been working a lot on this at the office, and I don't really think human rights exist.
No, of course not. I've been saying that to you.
Yeah, but like, I'm not saying that rights don't exist, but like this kind of universal human rights, I'm pretty much done on the concept.
Well,
because no one else seems to believe it. Right?
Natural rights do exist. I would say just based out of the the logic of the argumentation that natural rights exist is true. It's a truism that left unmolested, these rights exist.
But when we say rights, what we mean is really kind of abilities, right?
Yes.
Like natural abilities exist. Yeah, and I agree. You know, the right to exercise these abilities, obviously.
Well, the reason why it's framed in the context of being a right is basically the logic of, well, if you're restricting that, you're violating something that would otherwise be naturally, someone would be able to use.
But most cultures just don't agree.
That's
the
true.
case, right? And so when people are like, well, these are my rights, and this is something that there's a philosopher called Michael Oakeshott who basically just shreds this whole thing. He's just like, look, when they say human rights, what they're saying is the rights of Englishmen. And this is what the French were basically appealing to and saying, well, look, we want the rights of Englishmen. So, okay, but you are French. Like, this is... Like, and then if you go back through English history, all of the constitutional innovations, just go and read the documents, right? As far as they're concerned, they are not innovating anything, right? What they are doing is restoring ancient liberties. Every single document. In the phrasing is always the same for literally hundreds and hundreds of years. We are restoring the ancient liberties and customs of England, right? And then you can go back even further to Alfred the Great, and he's like, well, I just collected all the laws of our ancestors and then went through them to see which ones were good. And it's like, okay, fair, but he's not inventing anything new. And then you go back to like someone like Tacitus, the Roman author, who's talking about the Germanic tribes living in the woodlands. And he's like, yeah, well, they're very free. Their kings are not absolute. They don't have absolute authority over them or anything like this. And this seems to be the sort of origin point of like Western freedoms. Is a bunch of German tribes in the woods who essentially have this ancestral memory passed through England that they are all entitled to a certain kind of freedom that is just inherent within them and has always been within them. And it's like, right, so this is when we say the rights of Englishmen. That's what we mean. They're ancestral hereditary rights that we have just considered ourselves to possess for all time.
It's always going to be more than just an idea.
Exactly.
Anything that's ancestral, that's going to be far more than just an idea.
Exactly. And it doesn't apply to foreigners. And it's not that, foreigners can have their own fucking rights. They always have. Like, they've always had, like, weird fucking ideas about this shit. And so it's like, okay, whatever, I don't care, not my problem. But at the end of the day, we do have a different view on these things to them. And we need to be able to say that, basically.
Well, I mean, ultimately... It seems that they're bringing in a lot of the foreign hordes, and I think it goes without saying that in part just so they can increase their power. And that, especially the American context, I can tell you that from working within the government, I've said this multiple
it's about
times.
Specifically undermining your constitution.
Yes,
it's about specifically undermining the nation. People like AOC are exactly.
It honestly seems to be like intentionally destabilizing the safety of the nation so therefore the government can attempt to claim more territory for itself, more power for itself. And it's like, at least one of the positive aspects of this is that should the money run out, I don't think the government's going to be able to pass, they're going to get away with passing an idea that they can just somehow continue ad infinitum to just continue taking more. Because what will they be able to take? If you can't take anymore and you can't borrow anymore, then you're just going to simply have to cut.
Yeah. And I mean, when the system collapses and the money's worthless, then, you can say, oh, well, we've got a right to healthcare, we've got a right to housing.
I mean, we're following the same road as whatever, is it Bolivia that I'm thinking of? Like...
Venezuela, maybe?
Yeah, Venezuela. That, like, the interest, or not the interest, but the
hyperinflation.
The inflation is getting worse and worse, and no one wants to talk about it. No one cares, but it is actually hurting people.
You'll get the media saying, "No, what? Here's why the inflation's a good thing." Oh, get fucked, you fucking traitors.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to, so long as the powers that be are ignoring the issue, it's only going to get worse. I've one of the things that I've seen talked about is that because of the vaccine mandate and Biden's reaction to a court ruling putting a stay on from the OSHA mandate, and Biden just going, well, we're going to do it anyways, fuck you,
Yeah.
that the Republicans would be like, okay, what we need to do is impeach Biden. It's like, I just really wish a jihadist would show up and help you guys out. Because
the Democrats are just going to tell you to fuck off.
Yes.
It's all or nothing now. They know they've crossed the Rubicon. They know that the fortification of the election was too far. They know people don't believe it. They know that if this charade is at any point challenged, the whole thing collapses. And so they will forever avoid accountability now.
Yeah. And any idea that you're going to do that with not controlling Congress, not controlling the Senate, not controlling the White House, you're going to impeach somebody. And also as well, just not having the actual will to follow through on that sort of threat.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, what you really need to do is just hunker down for 2022 and 2024 and actually come up with some good policy. Like, come up with a policy that's going to help with combating inflation. That would be a smart idea. You guys got all these big brain dickheads from think tanks. Come up with some policy that would help reduce inflation.
What you want to do is just make sure that you catch them in the act of fortification. That's what I would do.
I mean, that would be very good for the right-wing base, but it'll get buried. Any actual evidence will get censored.
I don't know. I think that, like, Fox would be able to...
I doubt that. I think they're going to be they're afraid of getting raided by the FBI. So they wouldn't play it. Yeah, I mean, I started taking down articles. I started taking down articles the other day when I was at work. I was just searching them up when I was on break. Like, the FBI have been raiding people for, like, years that are right-wing. Like, they're just raiding them, looking for evidence, looking for things, looking for crimes. And I wish I could find that link in my that got saved in an email, but here we go. I'll bring him up.
Yeah.
From the New York Post, James O'Keefe.
Yeah.
That's first.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani, who came right out and said that the feds are trying to frame him.
I forgot that Giuliani got raided. Fucking hell. God, it's so fucking bad, man.
Roger Stone.
Yeah.
Who they actually got him. They got him. He had
they?
to be commuted or whatever, pardoned by Trump.
Oh, right. Okay, I wasn't aware. What did they get him on?
I can't remember.
Right.
But it was something heavily... witness tampering. After they charged him, he went to a witness and he allegedly destroyed evidence, so obstruction.
Right. Okay,
so they got him on that. And Steve Bannon.
Yep.
So that's 4 examples just that I got. It took me 5 minutes to look these up while I was at work. And all of them are from the FBI. All of them involve the FBI leading the way, spearheading it.
That's not fucking good, man. End of Republic stuff, this.
Yeah.
Weaponizing the institutions against your political opponents, not on.
Well, the problem is that the issue with the right wing is that they're such dick suckers for the authorities, basically, that they don't want to get rid of the FBI. And
or the CIA.
All you have to do is basically say is like okay, you can keep your laboratories, which is one of the things that local police departments and that rely on, and you can keep your anti-organized crime units, but everything else is going.
Yeah.
And
which is, I think, fair compromise, considering the way the FBI is being used.
Yes, because once you rip out the ability for them to do politically motivated investigations, quote unquote, raids, more like it, where you literally are going in to find evidence.
I mean, you've got no reason to suspect. Like, what do they think Bannon's going to have done?
Oh, it was... I can't remember what it was exactly, but they found him doing something. But I think he, too, was pardoned by Trump. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I wanted to bring this up to you just as some good news, because I found it funny. I'll link this to you, I guess.
I'm happy to get good news.
That in Wyoming, the GOP there have basically kicked Liz Cheney out of the party.
I saw,
and that's what I've been advocating for the longest time. I've been advocating this the longest time, is that if you have treacherous members of your party that are fucking you over, kick them out. Because if they have to, they either switch parties, which shows you who they actually are, or they run it as an independent and stand a very good chance at losing. Because if you run as independent, you lose Team Red or Team Blue votes.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's very critical. That's like, goddamn, anywhere from 35 to half the votes you're going to get is just Team Red, Team Blue.
Yeah.
So if you lose that percentage because you're forced to run it as an independent because you're kicked out of the party, you will lose.
Yeah.
And
rightfully so.
And Liz Cheney is basically one of the last standing members of the neo-lib, neo-conservative uni party who are never, ever, ever going to make things better for the right in the United States. They are more than just controlled opposition. They are enemy activists, agitators that are part of our side that are working to destroy us from within. When you kick her out, money is going to be going with her because the corpos want her in there. But the fact of the matter is that, as I've been saying, you can find money in other places. There's plenty of rich right-wingers in this country. Take the money from them. Don't take it from the corpos.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of rich right-wingers who aren't against America.
Yeah.
Start there. Like, I can think of half a dozen off the top of my head. It's so fucking frustrating watching just politics these days.
Yep, and the only good news is that at least as time goes on, the worst actors out there are getting what they deserve. And thankfully in Wyoming, it's not like fucking Georgia or Arizona or the other states, or Texas especially, where the right wing just lays down. They'll be out there with, 10 minutes or so of just pure rhetoric to do nothing with. A good example of that is Ted Cruz the other day was out there ranting and raving about something. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. What are you going to do? What are you going to pass? What the fuck do you ever do? Shut up.
In DeSantis' defense, though, he seems to have been actually doing a few things.
DeSantis is a better version of Ted Cruz, in my opinion. I think that...
banning mask mandates, banning...
all
this sort of stuff. This is good stuff.
He'll
needs to happen.
He'll do the easy stuff, which at least he does. At least he'll do that. Because the fact is, somebody like Ted Cruz will not even do that.
No. And at least he tells the media to get fucked.
Yes.
I love all this anti-vaccine mandate, all this shit. Just full on, no, get fucked. I'm not doing it. We're banning it. That's what we're doing. That's what needs to happen. When they say, oh, we're going to do this, you go, no, I banned it. Too fucking bad. Get fucked.
It's definitely a better way to act as a politician, especially in a good position as he's in, is flexing as a politician in his position is doing things, not just talking.
Yeah, and at least DeSantis has done things.
Yes.
There are tangible things,
Yes. So that's one of the positive things of DeSantis, is that he's actually doing things, unlike so many people on the right.
DeSantis. It's so nice. But I want to really like Ted Cruz. I really want to like Ted Cruz, right? Because I think Ted Cruz is probably an all right guy. But what's he do?
Nothing. Just talks endlessly.
Exactly. I see him bloviating in these fucking congressional hearings. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad someone's that he's at least giving the narrative that I want to hear given, right? But it's like, make something happen. Like, these people are like, poor old fucking Rand Paul has caught Fauci directly in a line. Nothing happens.
Yes.
Nothing happens.
He doesn't follow up on it. He doesn't follow up. And that's what I'm saying here, is that at some point, I started to hate him, because one of the things that is, the more you talk, the more it is actually, incumbent on you to do something. If this is a problem, and that's a problem, and this is a problem, oh, look at these things are a problem, oh, look at these people, though they're a problem, and you do nothing, you never follow up on anything, you're a liar. You're a liar. You don't believe in any of this shit.
It's not even you're a liar. It's worse than that. There's something definitely worse about someone who is aware of the problem, makes a big deal out of the problem, makes a career out of making a big deal out of the problem, and yet just it's parasitical almost.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that's the thing. It's insufferable.
Where
it's
would Ted Cruz be without a problem to complain about? Where would
exactly?
he be?
He wouldn't be anyone. He wouldn't be famous. He wouldn't be a known quantity or anything like that, would he?
No,
You know,
because
that's
he
the
never
thing.
actually does anything to build a reputation on.
Exactly. It's insufferable.
Oh, by the
Absolutely
way,
insufferable.
I got some other news here, which I'll link you.
Oh, yeah.
Is that DeSantis is actually going to be running for re-election, so he's not running in 2024.
Good.
So guess
Let the God Emperor
so
retake his crown.
if Ron DeSantis isn't going to run,
Who
who could it be? Which orange man could be running in 2024 to come
giant
back?
orange American penis.
He's
could
going to be
out there
walking
like a
into the White House with an AR-15.
Oh, I tell you what, that'd be glorious. And I'm pardoning Kyle. Right
Listen,
now,
Biden, I'm here to put out fires. I'm here to put out fires. I'm here to render aid. I got my med kit with me.
Oh yeah. Anyone need a medic?
Yeah, anyone need a medic?
Oh yeah, that would be glorious. I mean, God bless. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he wins.
I think
And the thing is, Biden is so up shit creek. His approval rating, it's like 60% down.
Yeah.
60% down. Like, fuck me. You have miscarried, my friends.
Yeah, I wonder, because the funny thing is that allegedly based on the polling around this so-called infrastructure bill, which is just a fucking gibber bill, it is literally just
Oh,
Gibbs to all the special interests.
Oh, dude, it's Gibbs on steroids.
Yeah.
And we could Gibbs, or we could Gibbs in the trillions.
Yeah. But what's hilarious is that it actually did not get him any bump. It had no effect on his approval or disapproval or competence or incompetence, like reflected by the public or anything. It's not going to have any advantage to the economy. It is doing nothing. It will do nothing for anyone. And it's what's good is that it reflects the public is looking at it in the same way that I do. That they know it's not going to actually achieve anything, so they don't care. And he received no bump in his approval for it.
No, well, probably worse than that, though. I suspect there's a huge constituency who are like, this is going to make things worse.
Yeah, I would say that it might lose him some points among independents. That's where he's going to lose some points. They're going to be like, because independents in the United States tend to have a strong streak of, well, how should we pay for it, and what is it actually going to be due? You know, they're typically more skeptical of government action if it's left undefined. And so, and especially with the so-called infrastructure bill, like if Biden basically showed up and slept his way through like construction beginning on a bridge to say, hey, look, the infrastructure bill, we're going to be fixing this bridge, and he just slept his way through, he might see a bump in his approval. But because there's none of that in this bill, they're never going to do anything like that because it's not in the fucking bill.
And who fucking knows? Like what it was like looking at the fucking Encyclopedia Britannica when I saw
it's nothing but just pork barrel spending. It's nothing but.
It's such an obvious abuse of authority, and I'm just looking and thinking, how can an American take this? Like I'm not American, and I'm watching it infuriated.
I would say the cattle are never gonna know. So what's that? 35-40% of the fucking country. You know, the cattle will never know. They don't follow politics at all. And
so I'm just having a quick look at DeSantis's ratings. Pretty good, it seems.
Yeah,
24% disapprove, 64% approve. Florida voters specifically. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
like, and that's specifically Florida voters as well. Right?
Yeah.
So and so that's fucking fantastic. You know, that means that you've got a really solid and increasingly more Republican area, doubtless. You know.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. I need to see, like, in 10 years, when you look at the stats, like the census of Florida, bro, it's going to be like 10 million people that have moved in there. Because I swear to God, like, so many people in New York have moved to Florida. It is an unbelievable number of people that have moved from New York to Florida. Like, it has to be millions.
A climate shock. Fuck me.
What's hilarious is that
going from England to New York is fine because it's basically the same climate. Going from England to Florida is insufferable because Florida is it's an oven.
Yeah, it is. It is. You burn real quick down there, I can tell you that.
Oh, it's worse than that, though. I mean, if it was a dry heat like California...
No, it's a wet heat. It's the South, baby.
it's fucking insufferable. And like you feel like you're wrapped in hot towels. And it's like, right, okay, this is awful.
Anyways, I wanted to talk about some Asian stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so oh god, what was I going to say to you? Oh yeah, I was talking about how we were talking last time about certain Magic Americans doing bad things to Asians all over the country.
Yeah.
And to keep it light,
basketball playing people.
Yeah, to keep it light. I thought about this because I was going to say this too.
Jogging, I believe they have.
The narrative is like no, because they just recently introduced like an Asian character to Sesame Street to combat anti-Asian hate, and it's like, okay, let's break this down. Who is attacking Asians? Who hates Asians? Is it like the Gen Z, like the 60% of white Gen Zers who are all otakus and weeaboos? Is it them?
Why? Why do they hate the Asians so much? What's their fucking problem?
They're wearing their weed shirts around attacking Asians.
It's the joggers. Oh, they're not racist. Shut up.
It's an honest question. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm just going to ask the question, who is attacking Asians? Who? What demographic is it? Like, of all demographics, is it the whites who have a very, like, large categorical positive view towards Asians or neutral view towards Asians, or is it the
least racist demographic?
Yeah.
Found a race that they hate. Yeah,
the most xenophilic demographic.
Yeah. Those ones with an external culture preference. Maybe.
Is it them or is it?
It's insufferable when you're watching people do their jobs in peace and quiet and serve you nice food without causing any trouble. It's fucking insufferable. Look at them. Fitting in and working hard. I can't be
Or is it a certain demographic that has a problem with like race separatism? Do you think it could be that one? What demographic is that?
I don't know.
Riddle me that. FBI, let me know. Get back to me.
I'm starting to think this is not right talking.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
Fuck those FBI crime statistics. That's not right talking point too.
Got some news coming out of New York City that apparently in New York City, a lot of Chinese voters are voting GOP. And I'll link that to you. Which I just gotta ask why. Why are Chinese voters switching parties? Why?
I wish I could do a Chinese accent, so I could do some funny riffs on Chinese people saying "Make America Great Again," Trump. But I can't do accents, so it's not fucking funny.
I'm trying to think of how you do Chinese accent. Make America great again.
Your accents are shit too. But yeah. This obvious why this is happening.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that while the Republicans are going crazy about, oh man, the base Cubanos are voting for us, it's like, no, Asians are overwhelmingly still voting for Democrats, and black people are still in that 90% category. And the whites are what's funny about the whites is that it's like it's closing in on like 100% in certain parts of New York City. Like almost 100% of white people are voting Republican. It's like, oh my god.
But the thing is, this is the same as the Labour Party here. The Labour Party is the party of the anti-British. Anything that's not British, the Labour Party is in favour of. Anything that is British, the Labour Party is against. And the Democrats are becoming exactly the same thing.
Well, in regards to the mayoral election in New York City, there is like a disproportion. It's like the chart is like consistent whites, consistent Hispanics, very consistent blacks, and Asians are like shooting up into the air for voting Republican. And it's like, statistically nationwide, they overwhelmingly vote Democrat. Why are they suddenly voting Republican?
There's so many funny Asian slogan, like MAGA slogans you could say with an Asian accent. I'm just no good at fucking accents.
I could probably think of some really base ones if you know anything about the fucking Asians, about East Asians and how they view ethnicity. You can think of some freaking base ones.
With their speech, you know.
I don't know. It might get me taken down from YouTube.
you've seen the video of the Chinese guy in Africa basically berating the Africans for not maintaining the infrastructure.
Oh yeah, was it built on sand or whatever? What is it? It's a documentary about building a highway, isn't it?
I don't know. I've only seen the clip where the Chinese guy is literally like, you're lazy. You didn't maintain any of this.
That's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and the black guy's just like, yeah, okay, fine.
It's the same documentary where it's also tiresome comes from.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah. And I tell you, you can feel his fucking pain, can't you?
Well, that scene is actually hilarious because I've watched that documentary, and it's a hilarious scene because he's like trying to get gravel or something to show up so they can start, and it's like the gravel guy that can't find him, and half the crew doesn't show up, and like everything is just falling apart, and no one shows up, and nothing can get done. And he's just left to stand there on his own with everyone around him telling him, like, yeah, sorry, half the crew didn't show up and we can't find the gravel guy. And he just sighs like, it's all so tiresome. And all they're trying to do is build a highway.
But the thing is, like, all these things is we will pay you for this. Like,
they're literally the Chinese investors are fronting all of it.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to pay you stacks of fucking cash if you just turn up and move some fucking gravel.
Yeah. Empire of Dust, that's what it's called in the chat.
I'm going to have to... you'll have to send me a link to it or something.
Oh, it's on YouTube. The full thing is on YouTube.
Yeah, send me a link.
All right. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to bring this up about Chinese voters that, at least in New York, at least it's like they got hit enough times that they accidentally voted right. Because the thing is, even with Hispanics, like, it's still a majority Democrat, but in certain parts of the country, it's trending Republican in a good direction, so statistically you can see the trend. But with Asians, it is like 75% Democrat nationally. So if they're starting to wake up and realize, like, hey, we're going to get beat every day in the street unless we vote for the Republicans, maybe we should think about voting other than this one way.
Let's vote for the guys who want to give us guns.
Yeah, and not beat us.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. If you let people try and beat you if you've got the guns, Yeah.
Well, that's my thing. Is that, like, unfortunately, you just got to, like, get into these people's heads. Like, listen, like, again, we're part of the xenophilic coalition over here. We don't want to hurt you. We want you to do well. And here's a gun to defend yourself. So if you suspect me of joining some white supremacist gang and beating you up, you have the means of killing me. Here you go. Here's a gun. Meanwhile, the other side is literally doing everything possible to keep the people killing you and beating you on the streets. Yeah.
I mean, like, and they're naked about it. They're fucking
naked. They're campaigning on it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is their pitch. It's like, I would go for the guy with the guns who can give me a gun and let me have a gun. So when one of your fucking stormtroopers comes at me, I can deal with it.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Kenosha style.
So I got an article from Newsmax called "Asian American Olympic Gymnast Says She Was Pepper Sprayed in Racist Attack." So, let's see if we can figure out who pepper sprayed her. Let's figure this out.
Okay.
Olympic gymnast Sunny Lee said she was pepper sprayed in St. Paul, Minnesota, her hometown, after being called multiple anti-Asian slurs. Lee told Pop Culture site that she was waiting for an Uber with a group of Asian American friends when a car drove by and someone began shouting slurs including "ching chong bing bong" and saying that she should go back to where she came from before pepper spraying her arm.
I miss the days when we could make spicy jokes on YouTube. I really do, because, like, I would never say that to an Asian person, but it's just hilarious to hear. It's so funny. It's like, the world's shit now.
I don't know. I would say that after a one-night stand. That's gonna be the bazinga moment. You just and it's like, all right, on your way out, ching chong bing bong. Morning, baby, get out. Ching chong bing bong. All right.
Do we get any information about these horrific xenophobes?
For some reason, NBC, Associated Press, other outlets are like, they jumped in. They leapt into the story to say, listen up. You know who's responsible for the majority of hate crimes? Whites.
Whites. Oh,
whites. Fucking whites.
Whites. I knew it. God, we
55%.
can point a finger at a bad guy.
When it comes to the totality of hate crimes, not just violent, but the totality, 55% are done by whites. So
Well, there we go.
Who's that other, 45%?
It's certainly not 13% of the population.
Oh, no, definitely not. But yeah.
For a fact.
So, stop AAPI, which is American Asian Pacific Islander Hate Group, which is a leftoid corpo group.
Of course it is.
Because they had to come up with Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. It's like, who the fuck are Pacific Islanders? Like Samoans or some shit? Like, who the fuck are Pacific Islanders?
Yeah, that's exactly
people who are ethnically Japanese. They're Pacific Islanders.
No, they're not. They're not the same as ethnically Japanese or sort of, I guess, what we call like Oriental style.
Yeah,
like,
East Asian.
They're not that. They're not that.
And Asian Americans, it's like all right, you can be part of that demographic, but it's growing. It's a growing demographic based on their creating these retarded categories. But they've intervened to say that the women most affected and whites, fucking whites, always out there being like, hey, you fucking slant, hey, you chink, will you date me?
So you didn't reply to my message on Tinder?
Yeah. Oh, I really wish I would have found it, but I found an article based on like dating apps of like who prefers Asians over any other demographic and who do Asians prefer over any other demographic. It's whites both ways.
Yeah. The Asian women and white men are destined for one another. You are right.
And the other way around. When it comes to Asians, both categories, they prefer whites, including Asian men. They prefer whites.
Yeah, but white women don't prefer Asian men.
Single tier for them.
They're the least desirable.
That's all right. We need to help them out. We need to create some kind of coalition.
Yeah, well, I mean, sorry, but...
I don't know if you really want the white women there, Asian guys.
No, they're welcome to them. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? Good luck.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so yeah, I just thought I'd talk about this because nowhere I've read several articles on this incident. She never and no one names who did this. No one names. She never says who did it, what category, man, woman, whatever. They never say, and I'm just gonna let that stand. Who do you think did it? Who do you think is responsible for this anti-Asian attack in some random town in Minnesota? Chances are, percentage-wise,
go home foreigner.
Overwhelmingly, it would be white people in Minnesota. But who could it be? Who go up to her and say, "Go back to where he came from, ching chong bing bong"? Does that sound like something a white person would do? They'd be like driving by. It's like a white person, a car full of white guys, probably driving next to them, her and her friends, like trying to give them their numbers based on like just like probability. Yeah. But no, who's driving by like throwing out racial slurs and pepper spraying or for no reason? Who would it be? And I'll just say I don't know. It's a mystery. Get the FBI involved. They'll crack the case. They'll find out and then bury the evidence.
Yep. They'll put it on their website and then that'll be called racist.
Yeah. What's this? Oh, yeah. I don't know if you heard about this. I don't know if you covered this on your own show. That Biden has been shipping like plane loads of freaking migrants to Florida for some reason. Have you heard of this?
Oh, I wonder why he would do that. I wonder why. I have not heard about that. Send me a link.
Here you go.
But,
it's a crazy fucking story, bro. They're like basically loading planes and in the middle of the night having them show up in Florida, like chartered flights. They're chartering flights for illegal aliens to Florida in the middle of the night and then just releasing them into Florida.
It's so transparent. Is
that not insane?
Like, it's so obvious. Why?
It's like literally Trojan horse shit.
Yeah, and who was it? Tucker Carlson was like, they're literally replacing you as voters, and they're like, yeah, we are. Here's another plane load. And like they were busing them to somewhere else as well, weren't they? Somewhere in the center of the country that's Republican, and it's just like fucking. It's so transparent, you fucks. You know, I would literally be demanding ID and in-person voting. Only, exclusively.
Yeah.
They'd be like, but that's different. Yes, that's the point. Get fucked.
Yeah. I really think that you basically, we're going to have like some kind of, still say state issue just to make it less tyrannical, but state-issued ID
Yeah.
that can basically 100% guarantee that you are a citizen. And I think if you're not a natural-born citizen, it should say that. And I mean to two American parents by natural born.
Oh no! This sounds to Americans fucking crazy, right? This sounds like some sort of radical extremism, but all of the old world is built on this model.
I mean, look at freaking Germany with their blood laws.
Well, no, like every citizenship in the old world is based on heredity. Right?
Yeah.
So that you get the citizenship of your parents. You don't just get citizenship because you were born on that fucking piece of earth.
Yes.
Like, that's not how it works. And so, like, to everyone in the old world, the Americans are like, oh, well, 'cause I didn't know what a fucking anchor baby was for the longest time because why the fuck would I? We don't have them here. And so some American ages ago had to explain it to me, probably you, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, fucking what? So just if, they happen to have a holiday there,
not even here, just Puerto Rico territories, Guam.
Yeah. But wherever, a holiday to somewhere that is an American territory.
American bases.
You're an American, baby. It's like, that's such obvious nonsense, and so obviously open to exploitation.
Yeah.
That it's mad. You can't have that here. That is insane.
What's hilarious is that my father was born in, on a naval base in Japan. Mm-hmm. That's where he was born. So if you look at his actual birth certificate, it says Japan. But
he doesn't have citizenship.
But he doesn't have citizenship in Japan. No. And one of the things, I basically explored it, because I wanted to get him, I wanted to tease him for, a birthday or a Christmas gift. I was going to get him, Japanese citizenship just to fuck with him. Oh, and I looked into it, and basically, because it's basically impossible. You can become a citizen through basically their huge barrage of application and testing and all that kind of stuff.
You've got to be there for years. Because we've just
not only that, but they can pull the rug out from you at any point and say, "Get out, you're gone."
I know. In things, you've got to speak Japanese to a certain proficiency. You've got to work there for a number of years. And I know this because one of the newest guy we've just hired, in fact, is a chap called John. He speaks fluent Japanese and spent time in Japan trying to become a citizen, and he just wasn't allowed. And it's based.
Yeah.
He's really great as well, so I'm glad.
Well, if I ever go there, I got to bring him along. You got to pay for that.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. And,
that's what you need to do, so I can have an excuse to go there. You need to go to Japan.
Well, my roving correspondent, Louis Le Vau, desperate to get some waifus.
Live from Japan. Here we are.
Breaking waifu news.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so yeah, I just yeah. Anyways, getting back to the actual news story, you should probably read into this and look into this because it's some fucking next level slimy, underhanded shit that they're doing this. They know they're up to no good because they're literally flying these people out and landing them in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I will look.
When flights literally aren't going out and arriving. They're done.
Yeah, well,
then they're showing up.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's not reported anywhere. It's only the fringe news wars, that fucking report this shit. But, it's happening, and it's being...
Well, they covered it on Fox News. There's a Washington Examiner covered it, and they talked about a segment that was on Tucker Carlson's show. I don't know if there's anything more to it than this one segment, but unquestionably, part of the people that are coming to Florida from the government shipping these people there are bona fide fucking criminals, not just random, people, wetbacks or whatever that come over the border.
Definitionally, they're all criminals.
Well, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, literally, people with charges against them or convictions against them for other sorts of crimes are being shipped there by the government at taxpayer expense.
I can't say I'm surprised, to be honest.
So it is insane that they're doing this. But the thing is that, I don't know, DeSantis and this sort of thing, he's basically going to have to level up. He's going to have to basically say, we need to basically open our own Guantanamo Bay and start shipping these people there. or literally have Florida literally shipping these people out to Mexico, forcing them out.
We've got a lot
create a law and say that anyone without provable legal status is guilty of a felony. And that against Florida, in Florida law, and then shipping these people out themselves and finding a means by which I would charge the corporations or something. tax the corporations and ship these people out, because
Yeah.
I guarantee you the corporations are on the side of these people coming in.
Oh, of course. No question of it.
But yeah, it's just a wild
keep
story.
labor for them, Jesus.
But it's straight up. It's just part and parcel Biden administration, man. Straight up, just
This is just what
no
he's done,
surprise.
Again, anything to sabotage the United States.
What's hilarious too is that we've talked about how Trump governed as a moderate, which I think is undeniably true. This is the kind of shit that I wish that Trump would do. Like unbelievably Machiavellian, underhanded shit that he did not do. This is the kind of shit I wish he did.
Yeah.
Straight up. Get me in the White House, Trump. Bring me in there for 2024. I'm going to come up with some unbelievably creative and despotic shit.
Trump has hired a YouTuber called Louis Le Vau.
Some unknown quantity for Western New York.
No one knows anything about him apart from the fact he's been demonetized.
Yeah. And when it asked for a statement, he said, to the leftists, "You did this."
We were talking in the office the other day. We were thinking about getting an email address for when we get press inquiries and stuff like that. So the media saying, "Oh, can we have a statement on this?"
Yeah.
And I was thinking about just having you can email getfucked@lotuseast.com.
You should do that. That'd be hilarious.
Wouldn't that just be the funniest thing?
Yeah, it would.
And if they actually emailed it, we were like, "Listen, have an automated response, just one word, one line, get fucked."
Yeah. Anyways,
the official Lotuseast response to the Guardian or something.
Yeah, I got another article up about how YouTube is getting rid of their dislike counter. The question is why? Why would they do that?
Look bad. It's making the establishment look bad. And think of the response to their YouTube rewinds, right? Every year, they're overwhelmingly positive. Everyone's thrilled. They love YouTube Rewind. This is great. This is wholesome community fun. And then one year, everyone's like, fuck off. Literally just like massive. And this comes out of nowhere. Just one year, it's just fuck off. We're not having any of this bullshit. And then it's like, what? Because their method of thinking hasn't changed. They've been pretty much like they are for quite some time. And so that must have a real effect at YouTube headquarters. They must think about that. And it's like, not my fucking problem. Well, it is my problem, actually. What am I talking about?
Yeah. I saw that you covered the article I sent you on your own show, the Should We Surrender to China? I got to say, though, I like the video. I appreciate the video. But the fact is that I was hoping for the rant at the end that, like I did or whatever it was in our last stream, where I'm like, if the war comes, I'm learning Mandarin.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I don't. I'm not going to side with China. I'm just gonna. I probably can't say what I'm gonna say.
Nah,
I'm gonna shut up.
No, if China wins, man, all I'm saying is that I'm getting on board. I'm joining the party, and I'm pointing fingers. So we're cleaning up this country then, and people are gonna get what they fucking deserve.
I just hate it though. I just hate I could never be a collaborator with a foreign power. I couldn't do it.
Well, I mean, you basically have to weigh, you're saying that as bad as China is, and it is unequivocally evil.
Yeah.
In your mind, is there never going to be a point where your own country is so fucking evil that you wouldn't side with with another enemy instead of them?
Well, the thing is, I would be a constant warrior against the corruption subversion. Right, like I am, actually. That's what I do for my job.
Let's say basically your choices are Japan. China's invading, and you have to choose between. Yeah, I know, right? you have a choice. Well, then America would be invading in that fact. So if China's
already invading,
you have a choice between fascist China or a Britain that has legalized pedophilia.
Oh, fucking hell.
Make a choice. I'm going with fascist China.
I don't want either of those outcomes. They're both the worst outcome. I didn't realize that.
I'm just saying, you got it.
Here we are.
Whenever it comes to evil, never lose sight of the fact that sometimes some evils are worse than others.
That is true. And I'm obviously very cognizant of that. And notice that there's a lot of map pride being pushed.
Oh, yeah. It's coming back strong now. Yeah. They got to be... I don't even think this is the maneuver. I think they're basically gearing up to it. Yeah.
I think it's organic.
I think they're gearing up to make some kind of maneuver. I think that they're going to try to get it part of like the LGBT shit.
Because it fits totally within the logic.
Oh, obviously.
What are we supporting? People who have got attributes that they ostensibly aren't responsible for. Yeah, exactly. Who are being oppressed by society. Well, it's hard to find someone who fits the description more than a pedo.
Someone in the chat says American nationalist Louis Le Vau learn Mandarin. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that. You know, when it comes down to it, that if you're gonna have to bow to somebody, I'd rather have it be somebody that is at least capable in their own right. That like they're actually trying to win. They're actually trying to make their society stronger. Unlike us, who just want our society to be like a bunch of hedonistic, gluttonous fucking pedophiles. Like, I hate the West as it is.
That is what they want. That is where this is going.
I hate the West as it is right now. I hate it. Because
I just hate the leftism.
But the fact is, well, I gotta say that, like, even, like, the side of, like, oh, well, what about our freedoms? It's like, yeah, what freedoms? What fucking freedoms do we have anymore?
I mean, if they can impose lockdown at will, our freedoms are a myth. So,
yeah.
Okay. Next conversation.
Yeah. When I can't be employed anymore for the sake of some arbitrary measure, it's like fuck this country, fuck it all. Like
yeah, exactly.
I'm about to go broke and lose my house. Fuck all of you. How about that? And it's why I got really angry in the last stream, and I was saying like, what's society? I really mean that. You know.
Oh, it's true. I mean, they're doing everything they can to atomize it and explode it, basically.
Yeah. So it's a very serious question. It might not have come across that way when I was like yelling in the way that I was in the last stream, but the fact of the matter is it's a very serious question that at some point the right wing really has to get in front of and say like, no, don't lose hope. Here's what we're going to do, that sort of thing. Because like I've said to you in previous streams, a lot of boomers in the right wing are radicalizing. And it's not necessarily a good thing if you're not there with some answers to provide. So I got an article from.
Oh, hang on. Let's talk about this boomer radicalization. Right? So, like, I mean, like, how many do you think roughly?
I'm not going to give you a percentage, but it seems to be like a slim.
No, just give me a very vague percentage. Like
a slim
for every 5 boomers you meet, one of them's radicalized.
I would say for every boomer I meet. That are right-wing specifically. Right-wing boomers. For every right-wing boomer I meet, 2 out of 5 are basically blackpilling. That they think it's over. But their response is not, we're going to give it up. It's basically like, my back is against the wall. I got nothing left, and I'm just going to, subscribe to PewDiePie. And it's like, whoa, like, holy shit. And I'm not joking either. I'm like, they say, I've spoken to some of my coworkers and they say some pretty fucking black-pilled shit. It's like, whoa, man, like, let's step aside real quick.
I always wondered what it'd be like when the boomers finally were like, oh, hang on a second, this is all shit. It's like, yeah, well done. Well done. It took you 60 years to wake up.
Yeah.
But, okay, good. No. Glad you're here. Glad you're on the fucking point. So, right, what are we going to do? And they're like, well, get the guns in. It's okay, calm down.
Yeah.
Like fucking hell, Elliot Roger. Like,
I don't really want to say too much, but I had one of my coworkers say that, like, he goes, like, one day, because he's one of the people that's going to lose his job the same as me, and we were talking about that, and he goes, if I lose my job because of this, if I lose the job, then I'm just going to retire early and whatever. I'll spend more time on vacation and that. And I said, yeah, you should probably do that. Just relax a little bit because he was basically complaining about how fucked up everything is. And he goes, but man, if I lose my pension, I swear to God, I'm going to D.C. and I'm ending this that day. And I was like, oh, shit.
Okay, well, that's one perspective.
Yeah. About. Anyways, I got this article from Zero Hedge. That's called a January 6th Capitol rioter is being hailed as a hero in Belarus where he's hiding from the FBI. So some guy that was there on January 6th was like, all right, I'm going to go to Gitmo because of this. I'm out of here. I'm a political prisoner in Belarus now. And I just wanted to link you this article because he is wanted by the FBI. He's still wanted by the FBI.
Right.
And
good for him.
He's hiding in Belarus as a political prisoner. And I basically,
literally,
my question is, Should he be stupid enough to turn himself in?
No. Why?
I'm just posing that question to you. I'm posing it to the audience. Should he return to good old, God-fearing, home of the brave, land of the free America, and turn himself in?
What does he stand to gain from that?
Being probably raped by a prison guard with a fucking baton in a literally abandoned prison.
Right, so I mean, if he's not into that, don't.
Yeah.
Like,
because that's where they are. They're in what was an abandoned prison with a bunch of, let's just say, diverse prison guards who abuse them. And basically, in like third world treatments is what they're being.
Oh no, we saw on.
Yeah, we covered it.
Yeah, we covered it. So yeah. What I'm saying is, don't see the point of returning home, lad.
Yeah. So
with the Biden fact, I mean, Biden is literally acting like a fascist.
Yes.
That, right?
Yes,
like,
he's literally like. People are like, "Oh, you can't do that, Biden," and he goes, "I don't care." Oh, we're the court, and you can't do this, Biden. I don't care. Oh, we're gonna go to Supreme Court and overturn this mandate. I don't care.
Menefrego.
Yes,
like, literally what you say. I don't care. It literally is, and it's okay. Well, and the thing is as well, right? More of his philosophy is more and more like the fascists, as in the idea that the state constructs your rights. That's his view. Okay, that's a fascist view. That's the core of the fascist.
You definitely.
The state can fix all problems. The state, nothing outside of the state. Okay, well, there we go.
And again, most famously, when we covered that speech together, and you totally lost it when he said "we the state" or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was wild, man.
Dude, I honestly, and you can't just say because it sounds fucking ridiculous, but like, I think he actually is a fascist. And I don't think he realizes that. Like, I don't think he's got a conscious understanding of fascism because obviously he's a 90-year-old fucking geriatric.
Yeah,
but and he's a
he was never that smart to begin with.
No, exactly. He was always a grifter beforehand. But I think he actually is a fascist. Like, not even joking.
Yeah. He's just
it's terrible. It's okay. Well, that's because they all love China. They all fucking love China.
I was gonna say something, but I'll just frame it like this: he is a fascist who likes taking showers with his daughter at inappropriate ages.
That is true. That's what his diary said.
Yeah, her diary.
Her diary. Yeah.
Which was totally fake up until the FBI wanted it back because it was stolen from her.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's annoying there wasn't any like more concrete stuff because like that's very vague and.
Yeah, I know. Just let us know, lady. Just give us what you got.
Exactly, like spill the beans. But at the end of the day, all the videos of him fucking molesting children should be enough. But if they're not, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, there was. I remember when those were originally going around. I initially didn't care up until. I don't remember. The one video that got me was when he rubbed the chest of the one girl. I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah. There's one that seems to be a fairly recent one where he grabs some young boy from behind, aggressively pulls him back, says something in his ear, and then just lets him go. And this poor fucking kid looks terrified.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what the fuck did the President of the United States just do to this child?
Yeah, he literally is, he was for the longest time just a creepy pervert. That's what he is. He is a fucking creepy pervert and possibly worse.
And that's in public.
Yeah.
He's a creepy pervert like that in public.
And one of the things that you notice is that it's not with 17-year-olds, it's not 18-year-olds, it's not like these jailbait sort of girls or boys. It is all 7, 8, 6, really noticeable the age group that he goes after. It's really consistent in that way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And literally, the one where he pinches the girl's nipple is
that was so fucked up.
What the fuck are you doing? I mean, why would you ever do that? But you're being filmed. You're being filmed, and you did it anyway. And it's okay, that's very interesting, isn't it?
And what I love, too, is that, not to go all Q here, but it's what I love is that people are oh, man, there's this fucking conspiracy. I was talking with a coworker the other day about conspiracies that I basically believe in because there's no other alternative.
Oh, the child trafficking thing is something I think is undeniable.
Yeah, the pedophiles in politics is I'm pretty sure that's a conspiracy that you can't even deny anymore.
No, I mean the guys involved in it have been arrested. So, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh god.
The customers, however,
the
they're all at large.
the one as well that I said that we talked about at length, that I think I might have given myself away because I try not to talk about politics at work because I'm kind of on another level of red pill that I don't think they're ready for.
Yeah.
But
you're just seeing a vague haze of red at this point. Everything's a bit scarlet.
Well, one of the things I got into, because it is true, like, I don't think about it that much, but it's still one of those outstanding things that I really want an answer to, which is the Las Vegas shooting. Like, how can you believe in anything other than a conspiracy on that one?
Well, no, he just lugged hundreds of pounds of weapons and ammo.
Yeah, he brought up dozens of rifles for some reason.
Yeah, and wasn't it like some sort of cargo, like stairs or something? How would he get?
No, he brought him up in a utility elevator for the employees.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. But he wasn't an employee, so how did he get access to that? How did he know it was there?
With cameras everywhere, he just brought those up.
How did any of that happen? Why did he bring so much only to, like, shoot one gun?
Yeah, he actually shot a couple rifles, according to
the
investigation. He shot a couple rifles, but it's like, so what were the dozens? And you got cameras in the hallway to wait for people that are going to arrive. Why did you just shoot yourself and end it there? What was the purpose of setting all of that up to watch your six just to shoot yourself? So
there's no answers. The whole thing disappears.
Yeah, goodbye. Worst mass shooting in American history. No reason.
Yeah.
No, not even a motivation. Not even a motivation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He wasn't even nuts or something. And it's like, okay, well, just that happened.
Yeah, he had some losses in gambling. Yeah. Well, how about he sells off a few dozen of his fucking rifles to make up for that loss? He's got tens of thousands of dollars in guns.
Yeah, but didn't he have, like, a mansion or some sort?
Yes, he was insanely rich.
Yeah, that was it, because he made all his money from gambling. So it's like, okay, so he made some losses, but that can't be new. Like, are we suggesting this guy's never made losses before? Come on, he obviously knows what he's doing.
So, yeah, just a whole lot about that where, honestly, because the fact is, it's either you believe that there is a conspiracy or nothing. What is the alternative? Yeah.
Or he just organized this for a lark? I mean, like, we don't have an alternative narrative. That's the thing.
Like, why the location? Why the target? Why the style that he engaged in? Like, there's so many outstanding questions that were never fucking, especially the how. How is he able to do all this?
But I mean, why, if he's like a guy who wants to commit suicide by cop in a mass shooting, why not just go down to the festival?
Go to a local Walmart and start shooting people.
Oh, no. Okay, like, say you hate this festival or something. Okay, fine. I get it. You hate this festival. You're going to go to a mass shooting. Why would you go to this extravagant length to get the hotel room and to get all these guns in there through the secret passage when you could have just walked in through the front gate and started shooting? Like, I'm not saying do this, obviously, but it's just like you could have done what he did without all of this extraneous planning.
Yeah.
It's like, none of it makes sense.
It doesn't. And it's... The only other one, which I only mentioned just in passing because it's a meme, and I just like the meme about it, which is Jeffrey Epstein killing himself.
Well, I mean, yeah, he didn't, obviously.
Yeah. He tweeted out that he had some information on Hillary Clinton. Dead.
I mean, he literally did, didn't he? So, at the end of the day.
Yeah. See, it's just a bit strange, and so that's what I talked about at length with one of my coworkers was because one of the blue pill conspiracies that I hate are UFOs and aliens, blue pilling. Yeah. It's literally state propaganda. It's state propaganda. Stop fucking believing in it.
I swear to God, let's say tomorrow, like, literally aliens arrived and they got out of a spaceship in the middle of fucking town and they were just like, right, okay, we're here to speak to your leader. This is what we are. We've been watching you for a long time, blah, blah. I would be convinced it was a government hologram or something.
Yeah.
Not even joking. I would genuinely think that first, and it's just like, have you seen hologram technology now?
Yeah, I have. I saw incredible. A concert of that. Yeah. And I was totally blown away. Blown away.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's like, right, okay.
It looked fucking mystical. Like, it literally looked like something that was magic.
Yeah. And I literally don't know what is possible at this point when it comes to technology. Like, it seems that anything is possible, frankly.
Yeah.
And so it's like, right, okay, just don't like, I don't know. I just don't believe any of their bullshit. I don't trust these people at all.
Yeah, people in the chat some people in the chat are agreeing with me. UFOs are fed. I agree. It is fed bullshit. Because they would never, if it was anything real, they would never fucking admit to it. And they're going out of their way. They're going on TV. It's bullshit.
And suddenly they're like, the FBI are releasing, or the military are releasing
the Air
UFO
Force
footage. Yeah, the Air Force. That was it. And it's like, really. I believe that then, do I? Okay.
Yeah.
Do I think you guys have got a plan? You're doing something here. More likely.
If you have any, do you have any topics you want to bring up?
No, I'm enjoying your selection.
Okay, because I was actually going to get to some super chats, but I don't know if there's anything interesting in all this. I know there's a few designated to you, so I'll go through them quickly because I don't want to waste too much time.
They're not a waste of time. They're the people who are supporting you in your.
I know.
Professional YouTuber.
You're a guest. You're a guest, though.
Nah, don't worry, it's fine.
All right. Guts says, if you ever carry a gun, wear a body camera. If crap goes down, copy the video to 15 places and put it on YouTube before going to the police. Guts says, where anti-vaxxers are the minority, I am certain that we are higher IQ and disproportionately productive minority. I'm telling you, in a few months, they will be crawling back to us. Yeah, I don't think so. They'll let it go to shit before they come back to us. Yeah, they don't care.
But I agree with your assessment. It's the people. In fact, it's two types of people I've seen: really stupid people and really smart people.
Yeah,
it's the total midwits who believe the science who are the ones getting vaccinated.
Oh,
the stupid people are like, yeah, my gut's saying no, and it's like, good.
That reminds me of something about like. I was out for a jog the other day, and I was thinking about talking to you about this, and it was like something about midwits, and I'm trying to remember what it is. That
they're a scourge on our fucking planet.
That they will basically walk off the cliff, and there's nothing that can actually like shock them out of the state of like compliance they're in.
Yeah. This is Yuri Bezmenov's view, isn't it? Where it's just like, look, these people are creatures of the system, as like Marcuse would put it. Like they're made of the system. They don't understand life without the system.
Yeah,
and they couldn't take it if they were imposed.
Yeah, it's basically comparable to the Matrix, like literal blue pillars in the Matrix, where they can't survive without it.
Yeah, because they're a product of it. They don't understand why it would be desirable to not have it, right? And so it's just one of those things where it's like, okay. And the sort of the metaverse or the Zuckerverse or whatever it is, like this, the way this all is going, it's like you can see the kind of people who are going to be created by this. It's full on Brave New World stuff.
Yeah, well, the only positive side of metaverse is that at least with people being stuck in the Matrix, that sort of thing, like plugging into the Matrix or whatever. There's other examples of that in games and movies and stuff where there's like a Ready Player One. I think that's an example of it. Yeah. At least with that, a lot of people will stop voting. That'll help us.
Yeah, that's true.
It won't be us that'll be in the Matrix. It'll be our enemies in the cattle.
Oh, yeah. And you are right. Like, it will, unless they have electronic voting, which they at some point will.
Yeah, and then they'll just decide the votes. Then they'll just decide the election.
Exactly. Then the democracy is fully over.
Yeah. Anyways, Dark Alley Rambler says, how long since I've caught you live, Louis? Here's some beer money for the occasion. I don't really drink too much anymore, but thank you.
No, it's fucking rent money now as well. So.
Yeah, mortgage money. Road Crusader says, for $6.57, 5-take, Nigger, and Don Carlos of Swindon unite once more. Also, I got a hangover from drinking last night. Any remedies? I don't have any answer for you. What about you, Carl?
Drink lots of water.
Okay. It's true. It's dehydration.
Yeah, the hangover is dehydration, so you just got to drink lots of water.
Kendrick says, for $20, where is the merch, Louis? I demand a way to buy an overpriced charcoal or lead t-shirt from you. There are so many great memes from the past I really wish I would have capitalized on, and that's one of them.
I mean, like you've got to think about sustaining yourself when the inevitable happens. Right?
I know.
And even if this isn't like, enough money to live on properly, it's something. You know? So
it is.
Do sort yourself, because I'll buy some.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Well, what I'll need to do is for you to hire me.
Well,
that's what I'll need.
Well, maybe. I don't know. You know, I can't be frivolous, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. No handouts for Louis.
No handouts for anyone. Like
Aw.
we've just hired like 4 new fucking people. You know,
I know.
can't-
I'm just messing around. Anyways.
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't want to either. That's the thing. You know,
So for me,
like,
it
it's
would
not
be a
like-
handout, huh?
Well, no, it's not like I wouldn't
charity case
appreciate
Louis
and
Le Vau.
value the commentary, right? But I just have to be sensible with things.
Fair enough.
Very responsible.
Very, very pragmatic capitalist of you.
Pragmatic, responsible
Yeah,
business owner.
Yeah, okay, Dad. Anyways, the guy says, I'm
Exactly,
26. Since still live with my mom, I'm in no hurry to get an office job. Had one and rage quit. It was still wagey wages and went back to food service. My money... do you mean food service like culinary? Because that's not too bad of a thing. At least you have a good skill. The money really isn't worth the clown world. In food, it's direct. Managers do X, you do it, and then you get paid.
Sure, but like on the plus side, at least that's a skill that if you cultivate it, you can end up cooking really expensive meals for rich people. There'll always be rich people, so you'll always have like because what'll happen with the economy, right? Is it'll transfer back to like a pre-revolution French feudal system where you've got this unbelievably wealthy monarchy, and they have a class of people under them who make all their fancy shit.
Yeah.
Like the artisan class. And this was a wealthy sort of middle class. And it was directly tied to the fucking aristocrats. So when the revolutionaries were like, well, okay, we need to kill all these people, they were like, no, that's our cash cow. You know, I don't think so. So, you know, that's what's going to spring up around the Great Reset crew when that all finishes.
That's literally what the class was called, wasn't it? It was the artisan class.
Yeah, it's literally the name of it. And so it like that's the future. That's the future of our civilization.
Yeah. All right,
The
Hunter.
artisan class obviously deeply obsequious to the power structure. Because why wouldn't they be?
Yeah. Hunter Count says for 661, I'll give a little more, but I am about to move into a new place in December, so have fun being unemployed. 5-take nigger. Sargon should hook you up with a job at Lotus Eaters. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one chiming in.
You should. You've got to drop those N words. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You've got to be
Aww.
No, it's not,
Well, it's true. If I went to the UK and said that, I'd probably get arrested.
Well, it's probably a hate crime. Yeah, it's probably illegal, actually. Yeah, it was probably illegal when I did it, like in 2015. I just didn't realize.
King Spectre says, but Carl, you let V write articles for you, and he lives in the third world. Doesn't he actually live in the UK still?
No, he lives in Romania. No, that's a fair point. I mean, you'd have to publish them under your real name, though.
Oh, that's true.
We'll
see how things go.
Exactly. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm happy to...
Depends how much you pay per article. What do you pay per word?
Not that much. But, like, you know, I'm sure, you know...
I know, I'm just joking around.
No, seriously, if your writing's all right and you have insightful things to say, I'm happy to...
I'm actually a better writer than I am a speaker, in fact.
You probably are. You probably swear less.
Yeah. Anyways.
Probably less gamer words.
Cancer Watcher 49er says, here's some cash for beer for $30. Thank you. Cancer Watch 49er. Turtle H2O says, finally able to catch you guys live. What happened with the last stream? It's not even a BitChute. I addressed that in a Subscribe Star post, which I'm going to release later today. So don't worry about it.
Oh, that's my fault, isn't it?
Well, you were right. Because I got a strike like 2 days later, and now I've had 2 videos age protected too, so...
Yeah, honestly, I'm telling you, man, you've got to be fucking careful as shit on YouTube these days. It's insufferable.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's just them or if it's flaggers or whatever, but...
I think it's bots. I don't think it's being flagged. I think it's bots doing it.
Yeah, well, they're picking up old videos from 2019 and getting those down.
There we go.
Anyways, Kiwi Bro says, might be joining you on the job search soon, Louis. New Zealand's people are so cucked, it's not even funny. Any thoughts about places to go in the States? Everyone's moving to fucking Florida. Don't go to Texas. Yeah. He says he can't stand Florida weather, but he doesn't. What about Texas? Fuck Texas.
Texas weather's no fucking better.
Yeah, it's very hot in Texas, but also Texas is 2 days away from being a blue state. Fuck Texans. Fuck Texas. Texan Republicans, Texan conservatives are the most arrogant, self-destructive people in the country. They're no more intelligent. They're no greater than any Californian.
Any idea why the Texas Republicans don't go ham on deporting illegals?
Because they're arrogant. They think they're going to win them over. They think they're going to win all these people to their side. Texan conservatives are the most arrogant fucking right-wingers in the country. They are delusionally arrogant. And they've been this way a long time. I can't stand Texan conservatives.
Well, let's hope the Floridian conservatives are better.
No, they seem to be better. They seem to be better. They seem to be far more practical, and all credit to them.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, I've spoken to loads. Like, I spoke to the CEO of Gettr, and like, there's this kind of MAGA attitude that seems to pervade all of this group, and it's like fantastic, fucking brilliant. You know, some people are actually doing stuff who are willing to work within the bounds of the system. You know, because unfortunately you have to. Well, I say unfortunately, but
I mean, preferably my take would be that if you got power to basically go as far as you can. That would be my attitude.
I mean, they should just be deporting illegals en masse every fucking day. It should just be a constant flow of, you know, Mexican illegal immigrants just being dumped over the other side of the border.
Well, the way to stop these people from flying the illegals into your state and attempting to undermine your electoral process is to basically get rid of them as soon as possible and to make it public. If you're illegal and you come to the state, we're gonna bounce your ass out of here.
We are going to deport you that day. You know, that's what I'd have the governor saying, look, you don't, you know, this is the.
And I mean, if how is it said again, Menefrego?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do that in terms, because the second you start doing that, you're going to have the courts intervene and say, no, we need to keep them here. We're going to put a stay on your deportations. Ignore it. If it's good for the Biden administration, why not you? And that I think is the separation. I think that's the separation. The right wing respects the system too much. They're unwilling to actually do what needs to be done, which is whatever's required to actually achieve your ends. Because you're not actually doing anything that's immoral. These people are illegal. They don't deserve to be here. Fuck the appeals process. Oh, there's some innocent people that actually had citizenship. Well, they're guests nonetheless. Fuck them. Get them out.
When the Biden regime is willing to deport illegal immigrants, then we'll talk.
Yeah,
but at the moment,
exactly.
They're just letting millions and millions in. So it's like
you set the conditions. You have the power to reset them.
Exactly. And like, you know, we don't want to do this, but you're just allowing it to happen. Therefore, we have to do this. That should be the attitude, and that's a perfectly reasonable attitude to have.
Yeah, and the difference is one of the other things I can't stand about Texan conservatives is that they are neoliberal dipshits through and through. You know, their whole state is becoming fucking California, and they're still clinging to this idea of this 90s or 2000s era Bushitism.
Yeah. There's wild optimism.
Yes. Just delusional.
Undeserved,
Delusional. And I can't stand it. I honestly want for the, Texas to turn blue and for them to get ramrodded and fucking raped.
Deserve.
Because it's what you deserve. Because the only problem is that once that tipping point occurs, they'll never get it back. It'll be California 2.0. They'll never win again. Because they're so delusionally arrogant.
Them as well. The
Democrats
will purge them. And it's like, okay.
And they will be totally unable to resist 1 inch of it because they are so oblivious to the reality of the situation that they'll be unprepared for it.
The dirty tactics. Yeah. That's the thing. They're not prepared for the dirty tactics. And it's like, okay, well, then you're going to lose. If your opponent can just own you repeatedly, and you're just going to be like, well, I guess we'll see how it goes in the next court case. We'll see how it goes in the next election. It's like, look, okay.
The role, there is a role in conservative politics and right-wing politics for conservative Texans, and that is to first, shut the fuck up. 2, give me some of your fucking money. Give me your oil money. Give me money. Shut up and give me some money. And they will actively help the right wing that way. They will actively help.
Exactly the same line that the left takes towards the Democrats.
Yeah.
Literally, shut up and give me your fucking money.
Well, is it not helping them?
Oh, totally. It's working for them. I mean, they're getting everything they want.
So
Like,
that
everything is going their way.
the best thing that could happen in right-wing politics, if for those two things to happen, is for Texas conservatives to start shelling out all this money they're holding on to. Because Texas, for fundraising, is one of the richest states in the country. California, New York, Texas, Florida, these are big states to fundraise in because they got a lot of money. And so with Texas, start forking over that cash to right-wing activists, but otherwise, shut the fuck up.
But it's okay. It looks like in like 5 years or so, Florida will be the new Texas in that regard. And
no, it seems like it's on the precipice now of becoming the actual new Texas.
Good, fucking good. You know, like I love everything about the attitude that I see coming out of DeSantis and the people around him. You know, and the people who are in contact with him and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like they're like the AOC style. You know, they're getting to like, hang on, no, this is fucking serious.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like finally, holy shit.
Yeah,
you know,
my only hope is that the left wingers like try to like, you know, punch him or burn his car or show up at his house. Something. We need DeSantis radicalized. That's what we need. Well, we need this guy to have his. We need. No, he's not. He's not radicalized yet. He's still playing.
Not radical, but
I want him radical. I want him radical. I want him to wake up one day and say "No mas." That's it. We're done. We're done. I'm now ruling, and I don't care. No more. Things are too unstable for us to have elections.
King DeSantis, the first of Florida.
Imperial Father DeSantis.
Yeah.
There's too much uncertainty. We're not having elections anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, he seems to have the attitude that the left is the problem, right?
Yeah.
So like, but that so many Republicans think, oh, well, we're supposed to live with our Democrat friends.
Yeah.
Not anymore. That ship has sailed.
Well, the other beautiful part is that when half the right wing is put out of work by this, at least we'll have no choice but to show up at the offices of our congressmen and that and. Say, and do things. Or say things. Preferably just say things.
The Republicans need to become aware that like a Cuban revolution has happened silently through the democratic process. Like these people got together and realized, well, if we all just agree on the same things, then we can just fuck over this other group of people without them being able to do a damn thing. And it's like, okay, well, that's where we are now. That's what's happening. And thank God in Britain, the left is losing. It's actually losing here. Like, you know, Stonewall's getting canned by the BBC, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like slowly but surely.
The Civil War is within the right.
Yeah, absolutely. The Civil War is now trying to get the Conservatives to do something, you know, and that's, you know, there's no point. I never talk about Labour anymore because they're dead.
Well, it's pretty much three sides. It's one side is we should become the Labour Party. One side is we should become UKIP or something similar. Yeah. And then the people in the middle who are like, we're a bunch of neoliberal fuckwits.
We're career politicians, Tony Blair politicians. We don't want extreme wokeness, but we also won't close the borders, and we will allow in millions of illegal immigrants. Fucking brilliant.
So that was a big donation from Kiwi, so thank you for that. If you want a serious answer to leaving New Zealand and moving to a state...
Florida. It is Florida.
He says specifically he doesn't want to move to Florida. I guess a Midwestern state, not Texas.
The Democrats will slowly but surely debauch.
Not the West Coast. Nothing on the West Coast.
No.
East Coast, your mileage is going to vary. Virginia, I've heard mixed opinions about. If you're like a professional, maybe like Virginia would be preferable because the weather is kind of in between.
But isn't that where all the critical race theory in the schools is happening right now?
Yeah, well, if he's right wing, he could go there and make a change, I guess, if you want to be active.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Virginia's not terrible. I've been there. It just seems like it's a real boomtown kind of place.
Says that as if it's a bad thing.
It is. I don't like corporate environments. It's very gentrified. Just put it like that.
Oh, right.
It's very corporatized. I don't like it. Whereas like in Florida, like probably the East Coast of it is very corporatized, but the West Coast feels very fucking like authentic, and I like that about it. Okay. The Get says,
I've been to the tourist places.
If we can ever take over the GOP, we need a serious discussion on disbanding the FBI. Call it what it is, a partisan rogue agency. Next agenda should be moves to severely punish local police when they stand down. Yeah, yeah, do what you can in that regard to basically go after local prosecutors, police departments, commissioners, whoever that you can get to make them enforce the law. And if they don't face federal charges or something like that, like, dereliction of duty is a felony. And that's my thing, is that, like, what I would do is start having the federal government intervene where they can for supplementary charges. So, like, let's say you get found guilty in New York for armed, like, you attack a cop. So you attacked an officer, and in New York you're going to jail for 30 days for that because we're fucked as a state. Well, there's a supplementary federal charge where you get brought into federal court, and if found guilty in that court, you do 40 years hard time. And just make all the sentences as draconian and ruthless and cruel as possible. And then we'll have basically a slave class to start building some shit. Have some use.
I suppose you would.
And anyone on the right that disagrees, you can kill yourself. Uroshima Oratu says, more people need to look into ESG funds. Obama and now Biden have changed regulations to allow companies to invest their employees' money based on social justice and climate crisis, not based on a company's profitability. Get woke, go broke is a lie. Yeah, I think so. Rogue Crusader says, want to hear bass Chinese accent, and he links a video. I don't know. It might be the video from Empire of Dust. I don't know if I could play that. Carl's Throbin Donkey Kong Dong? Oh, Carl's Throbbin Donkey Kong Dong says, and I think that's in reference to you, cementing my tie to the pastor for $3. That should be $6.50. I'm sorry. I'll take that $3, but it should be $6.50. Glowy says, I love how everyone that is against the idealistic vision of the past by right-wing people is so ready to accept the idealistic vision of the future by the leftists. They are hypocrites. Yeah, well,
that's a good point. Reality. That's a very good point. It's a wonderful point, actually.
Guest says, I really think if crap popped off with China, sections of our corporate and state leadership would overtly side with them. It would be like a business plot. It would be like the business plot. I think that's from the 19th century or late 19th, early 20th.
No, early 20th. Smedley Butler after World War I.
Yeah.
But I think the Democrats would exactly side with them because the Chinese would appeal to them on communist grounds.
They would, but the issue is that I don't know. The question would be basically if China wins, who do the Chinese prop up? Is it going to be the woke leftists that they actively campaign against in their own country? Or is it going to be the right wing?
They don't care that the woke leftists are operating in your country, I think.
Well, that's the question. That's why I'm saying I'm joining the party and I'm cozying up, because I'm like, what's the name of the stupid like Netflix show where the Nazis win?
I don't know.
Tower of something. I can't remember.
Is it the Man in the High Tower?
Yeah, Man in High Tower. Right. And all I'm saying is I'm becoming the next John Smith. All right.
Right. I've never seen it.
So. Okay. Well, John Smith basically takes over America and becomes basically Hitler of America. So that's what I'm saying. I'm becoming that.
Taken by Ron DeSantis.
No, I'd rather it be me. If you're gonna give power to anybody, I'd rather it be me, because then some shit's gonna get done. Because then I'll just become the Supreme Court, and hey, everything's now going to be constitutional. Anyways, Glowy says, Never Trumpers keep saying Trump was authoritarian, but Biden, they defend and make excuses. They're the worst enemy, a traitor, pretend to be on your side. At this point, I don't know if they realize what's going on and are stuck in a fake reality. He's talking about Never Trumpers.
Yeah, no, I think they are stuck in a fake reality. I mean... There's no question that Biden is way more authoritarian than Trump. There's no debate to be had here.
Well, that's a joke.
Yeah,
but
there's just nothing to contest.
Trump
didn't
I'll say,
do anything authoritarian.
And we'll see if you agree. If we win, if you and I win, and once the journalists have put it against the wall, they're going to be first. I think we can agree on that. Second are the Never Trumpers. Can we agree on that?
Well, like being a delusional partisan is technically not like it's not good, obviously. But if they haven't actually done anything other than cast a vote,
no,
well,
they're actively working against this, and that's why they're next.
I mean, I would, for someone to get fired or something, they'd have to demonstrate behavior. I don't.
I'm not talking about fired.
Well, yeah, I know, but I don't want to have anything.
Yeah,
that might sound bad.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to it. What should we do then?
What, with the communists?
No, with the fucking ever-Trumpers. So the Trotskyists.
Laugh at them, basically. Because the Trotskyists never achieve anything.
Nah, they're actively working against this, and they got money behind them, so they need to be ice-picked.
Disavow.
All right, fine. You're wrong, though.
I'm
anyways.
just disavowing, because we're on the internet. What the fuck do you want?
Well, I'm speaking, of course, metaphorically, all right?
Well, you say that,
I'm channeling my
the media clip won't say that.
Whatever.
So
I'm going to lose my fucking job anyway, so what are they going to do?
Yeah. I'm just saying I disavow because then when the media comes out, it'll be you.
Because it's weird is that a lot of the neoliberals are ex-Trotskyists, like the old ones.
Oh, yeah, loads of them.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's why they deserve the ice pick. Gus says, I've wondered if Binger is a mercenary or a true believer. Is he the faggot that wears the Star Wars pin?
Who's that, sorry?
Binger.
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Then he's a true believer. Anyone who wears like an unironic Star Wars pin like that, or like we're the rebellion, he's a faggot true believer. Is he trying to save his case for professional sake? Oh, by the way, that they're going to have a hung jury because some activists made it on the court.
You think so?
Yeah, there's one juror that's refusing to. Basically, everyone wants to exonerate, and she is committed to guilty, so they can't convince her. So it's going to be a hung jury. It's going to result in a mistrial because of her.
Right. Okay.
So, is he trying to save his case for professional sake or punish Kyle? I think it's the latter. He would do this for free if it meant stamping out the rebels. Yeah, I agree. You do it pro bono if it meant convicting this kid. I think that's obvious.
He does seem to have that attitude and air around him.
Even though he's shit.
Yeah, thank God.
New York Joggers Association tips for 657. Great to see you two streaming is becoming a regular thing. Why not? Why the second channel, though? It's because I have a strike against my first. Also, thanks in part to the Lotus Eaters podcast. I've been working out regularly, and my family has noticed my albeit small gains. Well, congratulations there, Carl. You're making somebody's life better.
Good. That's all we can hope for in this world.
Yep. And it's a good thing. Working out is good, and, take pride in it. Getz says, by food service, I mean fast food. If I'm going to be a wagey either way, I'd rather stay away from the insane asylum of office life. I can see why Patrick Bateman turned out how he did, and now it's with extra woke. Yeah, well, that's the meme. Yeah. Glowy says...
The Patrick Bateman memes are fucking spice, man.
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying them. They're really on point, It's like...
I've seen that movie, and I definitely have mixed feelings about it. Like...
It's not like the movie itself. It's the character and the reaction shots to what's happening, right? That's what, because it just seems like his world that we're living in.
Yeah.
And so the only rational response is to be like Patrick Bateman is essentially the implication.
I would say that if you have to have an example of that, Joker is the best possible example because
the Patrick Bateman one is less hopeless than the Joker. It's I can see why. I mean, for people who have a moral compass is what I'm saying. Like the Joker is the film, but for those people who are just existing in this crazy world and have known nothing else, they're just like, okay, here's the next crazy shit.
I don't know. I found the film to be especially pretentious.
Which one? American Psycho?
Yes, I find it pretentious.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And it's what makes me there's aspects. I just don't dislike every aspect to it. There's it has what's his face in it from Spider-Man. That one actor's name I forget.
I don't watch Spider-Man.
I forget the old Spider-Man. I forget the guy's name. He just did that fucking.
Tobey Maguire.
No, not Tobey Maguire. It's the actor that played the Green Goblin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forget the name of the actor. I gotta watch the movie. I gotta watch that is kind of pretentious with him in is him with him and the guy from Twilight, where they're on that they are, I forget what they're called, but they work in a lighthouse. I gotta watch that at some point. It's like a crazy fringe movie. He was also in Platoon as well. William Dafoe, thank you, Chad.
Was he in? He was in Platoon.
Yeah, he was in. He gets killed by the one crazy dude in Platoon. Like the guy with the scars on his face kills him.
It's been many, many years since I've seen it.
Yeah, I like William Dafoe as an actor. I really like him.
Well, I mean, he's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, he always seems to play sort of like a variant of himself. You know, that's the thing.
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I would say that he's a character actor. You know, that's what the roles he gets are for particular characters that stand out. But I would say he plays a variety in terms of tone of which kind of characters that he's actually, what he plays.
I mean, I haven't seen that many films of him, I guess.
I have. It seems to. It's called The Lighthouse. Is that the name of the movie? What's the name of the guy from Twilight that he's in? It's a crazy. I've seen clips of that movie. I got to see it at some point. It's fucking crazy. He's also in the Boondock Saints. That's right. Anyways, but yeah, I really liked him. I like how the old Spider-Man movies have basically come back because they actually had some like real grit to them and some real like authenticity to them. So people now like them more than they did then.
It's because it was Sam Raimi directing them, right?
Yeah.
He's like I watched Army of Darkness the other day for the first time in years. So fucking good.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson is the name of the guy.
It's fucking like. Have you ever seen Army of Darkness? It's stupid.
Yes.
It's stupid how good this film is, and because it's such a stupid film, but like it's played totally fucking straight. Everyone like is totally in it, and it's just a very interesting and fun thing.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and just having a good time.
Yeah.
And I was just sort of thinking, fuck, when was the last time I had a good time watching a film?
Yeah.
Like, films these days fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like, I never have fun. The last one I watched that I enjoyed and, like, had a good time watching was Hardcore Henry, which is, you know, some fringe fucking...
You didn't enjoy Joker?
Russian film. Oh, well, yeah, I enjoyed Joker, but it wasn't, like, a thrill time, right? Like,
I don't know. I was thrilled.
Sure, but like I was in the emotional setting and you know, like, but not like fun, you know, not where I came out of it like
it was intense. It was an intense film.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it was, you know, I wouldn't change a thing about it or anything like that. And it was the right film for the fucking moment as well, which I think
it just had a lot going for it. I think Joaquin Phoenix was great in it too.
Perfect.
I've seen recently. I've watched a bunch of films. The other day, I rewatched Signs with Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah.
I rewatched that. I enjoyed that one. I watched Gladiator. He's the Emperor in Gladiator.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's so good as the Emperor in Gladiator as well.
Yeah, he's like this.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's like a psychotic son who kills his own father.
A maniac, Commodus.
Yeah, because his father oversteps him for inheritance, like inheriting the throne. He gives it to the general instead.
Well, yeah, like which isn't what happened in real life. Marcus Aurelius was just weak and was like, okay, my son Commodus can have the throne. He's like, no, he's terrible. He's genuinely terrible. Don't. And he did anyway. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, people in the chat are now talking about Joker. I haven't actually seen it since I watched it the first... Actually, no, that's a lie. I think I've watched it one time since then. But yeah, I think that's honestly going to be one of those movies that in like 10 years or 15 years, it's still going to hold firm as being fantastic. Oh, yeah. I think it's going to age very, very well. And I think that in the future, more people are going to come around to it actually being like a legitimately good film. Because I still think that, unfortunately, because of the controversy around it, that a lot of leftoids don't want to call it good.
They don't want to fucking admit the truth.
Yeah. But in any case, Glowy says, feel you, Lou. My job has mandatory vaccines threatened everyone with termination so far. I'm the only one not taking it. The coworker said only needed to take 2 shots, and that was it. I laughed and told him that
As if it ends there, mate.
No, I've been saying this for weeks, and it's gonna happen. They're gonna have booster shot mandates.
They're already doing it. They're already doing it. Like, you can see them setting up for it.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, but I think the number of booster shots as appropriate is 0. I just don't care. Go away.
And with it, it's going to be like a booster shot, and then they're gonna basically, Pfizer or whoever is gonna say, like, you need a booster shot every 6 months or every 5 months, and that's going to become their mandate.
Yeah, it's literally going to be a fucking subscription service.
Yes.
You get your subscribed and it's just creating this unbelievable medical industrial complex, and none of the leftists care.
Yeah,
none of the leftists care. It's like, okay, that's weird. It's weird that you are so easily distracted.
No, they've just sold out. They're with the corporations now.
Yeah, they think the corporations are going to be left wing and that they're going to win.
Yeah.
That's what they think.
I guess still says talking about working as a wagey. I appreciate the donation, Geth. Louis, you should do a monthly or bi-weekly rant from a fancy chair on the Lotus Eaters. Just have the camera cut off your face, sitting like a PBS Masterpiece Theater.
As long as you are dressed as a Southern gentleman.
No, I don't care about the face thing. I mean, at some point it might be the case that if I lose my job and I'm like, all right, I'll try out YouTube, I'll just show my face. It doesn't really matter. My whole job right now is public facing, so it doesn't really bother me. Diddly Doodler says, collections to the pastor. Something happened on the main channel. Just getting here. Yeah, I have a strike. Interesting to see the righties at the Kenosha court. That wouldn't happen 4 years ago. It's getting so bad the righties are starting to be pulled away from the job and family circles. Slowly they're being pulled out of the daily grind by degeneration. I don't know. There was some guy that showed up at that courthouse that looked like a fucking Fed. I don't know if you saw that video.
I didn't, but I don't doubt at this point.
There was some guy there with a megaphone, and he got pulled out, like he got extracted. And I was like, yo, that's some suspicious shit right there. That looks like a fucking Fed.
Well, I mean, I'd be shocked if there weren't.
Yeah. The Geth says, dereliction of duty should be a felony, federal felony, from chief of police to the riot cops in the street. I'm tired of seeing these pigs stay on the sidelines until you defend yourself. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Like, the cops stand down, and then your choice is to shoot the fucking pedophile who's trying to get your gun. Yeah. Or get killed yourself. Like, those are your choices.
I mean, I love that. I love so much that that's a literal statement as well. Literally, the pedophile who's trying to grab the child's gun.
Yeah.
That's literally what happened.
Okay, we got another super chat for $6.50 by Sargon Succulent Schlong, who says, fine, here you go, you silver-tongued fuck. Oh, this is what's so he's following up on $3. Yeah, I appreciate the $6.50. King Spectre says, and think about it, Louis.
Oh, that's so nice. That's
double
so
dip.
Kind.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sargon Succulent Schlong. Also, do you audio tricks for his premium article sermons? Wonderful feature, by the way.
Thank you. I'm really proud of them, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I never gave you my email. I forgot about that. Oh, sorry. I'll do that.
Well, you sign yourself up and then tell me what email you use. No,
okay.
Because I'm kind like that.
Tusin2 says for 518. I'm not sure what that means. Would you, hey Louis?
Probably a Bible verse.
Would you mind uploading the last stream that got taken down somewhere else, perhaps or got partway through? Nah, I'll just leave it offline for the sake of being, we didn't really say anything that particularly interesting in it, so at least I don't think so.
But someone out there might think so.
I don't know, maybe not. I don't really care that much about streams. Did you guys hear? Did you guys hear that the FDA asked the federal judge to grant it into the year 2076 to fully release Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine data? Make vaccine mandate by law, hide any info about bad effects. Didn't know Cyberpunk 2076 is becoming real.
Becoming? You're in it.
I know, right? You're in it.
When you're in it.
It's like that fucking
the meme. Yeah.
The meme of what is it? Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah.
I mean, literally, this is what it looks like. You're living through it right now.
Yeah. And the last super chat was for $6.57 by Andrew with no message. So thank you, Andrew. Is there anything that you thought about that we've talked about that you'd like to continue talking about there, Carl? Anything?
Well, just
that
whatever,
you can
man.
think of?
I'm happy to. I'm just happy from Rome to topic to topic. I'm just enjoying the
All
chat.
right.
I'm currently I'm playing Ark as we talk, so let's just carry on.
Oh, the dinosaur game.
Yeah. My son's been really good recently, and so he really likes it, and I happen to have a spare laptop, so I said, okay, at the weekends we can play for a couple of hours on this server, and so I'm on this server just harvesting berries and taming dinosaurs.
Yeah. Apparently, you posted this from Fox News that the Rittenhouse judge bans MSNBC from the courtroom.
Based.
Why was that?
Because they were trying to photograph the jurors.
MSNBC was doing that?
The guy who they arrested said that he was from MSNBC.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
the thing is,
Enemy of the people. Enemy of the
had
people.
A press pass as well to get in there, right? So he must have had some kind of credential. Like how
That's
fucking
so
insane.
Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, I mean, literally, if you're trying to intimidate the jurors, like the press is doing this.
I just remember back when fucking Trump said "enemy of the people" and people spazzed out. It's like, no, he was fucking right.
Oh, 100%. Like these like literally trying to rip apart your republic. Tim Pool was right calling them evil. They are trying to rip apart the republic.
Yeah, what is? Oh, Tim Pool said something pretty fucking based recently. What didn't he?
Yeah. It was this rant, like 3-minute rant, where it was fucking amazing. It was just like fucking hell, Tim. Like,
Tim's about to take the PD off.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's going to take the PD off, put the MAGA cap on.
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's the hat he's going to be putting on.
Well, some sort of hat. But like,
what's the name of the the Stalin helm? What's the name of the German helmet?
The pickle helm or something.
Yeah.
I got the video and I saved it because it was so. There we go.
Butt Worlds man sent me a tweet. I'll send this to you. I haven't listened to it just yet. Oh shit, where is Discord? There it is.
There's the video if you can play that, even if it's just the audio.
Yeah, I will.
So let me know when you play, because it's like 3 minutes long. But it's so good.
I want to listen to this 1 minute clip real quick.
Okay, and then we'll do Shelby last one.
Thanks. OSHA suspended its vaccine implementation and enforcement because of a court order. Given this update, is the administration still urging businesses to move forward with the president's vaccine and weekly testing rule? And are you still working off of that January 4th compliance deadline?
We are. Let me be very clear. Our message to businesses right now is to move forward with measures that will make their workplaces safer and protect them, their workforces from COVID-19. That was our message after the first stay issued by the Fifth Circuit. That remains our message, and nothing has changed.
So now they have another stay. There's another court that's intervened and told them to stop, and they still don't care. They still don't fucking care.
Fucking hell. It's mad, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's just like, it drives me absolutely nuts. Fucking Trump spent 4 years fucking around in the courts. 4 years fucking around in the courts and getting absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the right thing to do, though, right? Trump, that's the thing. Trump was not a revolutionary.
Morally speaking, it isn't. Morally speaking, it isn't. If there's something wrong and you have the power and authority to do it, just do it. Do what's necessary.
You can't. But that's why the left is destroying the republic, right? So
if something is destroying the republic and you are failing to intervene to prevent it, and you're fucking around in the courts who are going out of their way to stop you,
yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying,
your failure is immoral.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it was not as obvious 5 years ago as it is now. Like it's become way more obvious since Trump was president. Like, since he was elected, that there was actually this active force that was prepared to turn fascist against him, right? And so, like, I can understand why, leading up to the fortification and the January the 6th events, like that was the big reveal, right? The big reveal of the fucking great cathedral, the fascist cathedral that the left is currently engineering and puppeteering. Like, it revealed its form then. And they literally published an article, we fortified the fucking election. So, okay. Right, okay. now you can exactly see it. It's revealed and everyone can see it. So that now there's no excuse. But like going back to Trump's presidency, I don't blame him for governing properly. Like, I think that's actually to his credit. Frankly, it's a fucking shock. Like, I can't believe Donald Trump was an ethical president.
I mean, it is.
I wouldn't have guessed.
It is a principled thing to do.
Yes.
That you govern in that capacity, but it isn't necessarily the moral thing to do when in a crisis.
No, but
and
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you've got to remember it in its context, right? It would have been totally abominable if Trump had started doing illegal stuff constantly and ignoring the
who
courts.
defines illegal?
The Constitution, your laws, what?
The ones that decide. Our Constitution, according to our Supreme Court, says that we have that all foreigners that can make it here, irrespective of how they get there legally, otherwise, doesn't matter, are entitled to a free education, cradle to grave.
Yeah,
that's what it says by our Supreme Court.
Right.
That's
I'm
constitutional.
Not, but is it? I don't know.
According to our Supreme Court, it is. It's guaranteed by our Constitution. Foreigners have rights.
That is strange. Your Constitution would guarantee the rights of people who don't belong.
Well, no. The fact is that for a long time, the United States Supreme Court has used the Constitution as the means by which to decide whatever they feel.
Yeah, I know, and I agree. Your Supreme Court is way too.
And if I decide that if I interpret the Constitution to decide certain things, how is it any more immoral, less immoral? How would it not be in principle the same?
Theoretically, they've got institutional legitimacy because they are judges and they've been put there by elected officials. So there's a process of accountability in theory, right? So that's the theory behind it. I'm not saying it's working in practice or anything. It's kind of embarrassing how they failed to come to Trump's aid in every way. It's a Republican Supreme Court. What the fuck?
It's not that surprising considering who they appointed.
Well, but that's the thing, because there's a way of doing things within the system, and they will have to stay within the system. And of all people, Donald Trump, like, genuinely seems to have done the right thing in almost every case. And it's like, right, okay, that's weird, because why would you think? I mean, like, it's Donald Trump. Like, how is it him who's the actual example of like what a good leader is supposed to be? Like, it's mad. But I don't want to downplay the man or anything, but like, come on, he is an American caricature.
Yeah, well, there's a fight going on in the chat as to who's right and who's wrong, but I'm just simply saying that...
I'm not surprised, it's divisive.
But like... You can't... People are acting like there's still rules that apply to both sides, and it's like the other side is basically either writing the rules to apply to us or discarding them altogether. And the fact is that you'll always be on an endless treadmill that will always result in your ruin.
Let me tell you why this is happening, though, right? Because this is a strategy called repressive tolerance, right? And so what this means is that basically you carry on as normal, and you have your governance as normal. You just withdraw tolerance from certain segments of the population, right? And so, like, what that means is if, and we see this all the time, right? So and Joe Rogan said this on Tim Pool's podcast yesterday, where it was like, look, whenever someone gets censored, it's always against the right. It's always the right wing. It's never the left wing. This only ever goes one way. And exactly, it only goes one way. So you're specifically saying, look, like if Navarro Media get their YouTube channel accidentally shut down, comes back within half an hour. If we get our YouTube channel accidentally shut down, it's never coming back. Even though we follow the rules to a fucking T, obviously, right? It's never coming back because we're not in the club, and that's the point. Like the tolerance for any charity, any generosity, anything that you would give to someone who you considered to be a countryman only extends to those people who don't actively oppose you. And if someone actively opposes you, well, then they just don't get tolerated. Sorry, we've taken down your YouTube channel. Sorry, you're cancelled. Sorry this, sorry that. And that's essentially the attitude the right has to take towards left-wing causes, because it's the attitude being taken towards them. It's not to ignore the Supreme Court, right? That's not the right way to do it, because they're not ignoring the Supreme Court. They're only like tolerating those.
For now, they're only ignoring federal courts.
No, don't get me wrong. They are now. This thing with Biden, this is new, right? And this, and it's good that it's new. It's good that they're the ones doing it, right? Because you can't tar Trump with that brush, right? And these are bad. These are really bad. This is core pillars of the republic being ignored by the president here. That's genuine constitutional crisis, isn't it?
Not if no one actually raises it.
Well, I mean, it is, even if no one raises it.
Well, I mean, let's say it goes to the Supreme Court and fucking they decide no vaccine mandate, and Biden goes along with it anyways. What the hell's going to happen? Nothing.
Well, then you're in a constitutional crisis. Who gets to make that decision? Does the president get to ignore the laws? That's the question.
Yes. If he says he does, then he does. That's how it works. That's how power works.
Well, no, that's how subordination works. Power can work in many different ways, and one way is for that to be something that the system does not cooperate with.
They'll always have some means by which to excuse their actions and justify them. They'll create some condition by which that they can ignore the Supreme Court, and nothing will happen.
I'm not saying anything will happen. What I'm saying is from the theory that underpins your republic, right? This is the end of it, right? When the institutions don't want to work together, the institution of the presidency or the Supreme Court or the legislature or whatever, when they refuse to cooperate because they are trying to run the same country, then you are in essentially pre-Civil War territory, right? Because the institutions are meant to be on the same side. They're on the same team. You know, they're meant to work together to resolve problems for the public good. But now it's not about the public good. Now it's about factional fighting. And so, right, okay, you're in a new era of pre-Civil War, and the left is acting on this by repressive tolerance. They can't go to open war with you. They would be happy to fight a hot war with the right if they thought they could win it, but they can't, and they know they can't, and they've tried before, and it doesn't work. And so what they've done specifically, and they've said this explicitly, right? Kimberly Crenshaw in it's either mapping the margins or demarginalizing the intersections. I can't remember which essay. But in one of them, she literally just says, well, we're going to fight a Gramscian war of position. And what that means is building up counter institutions within society that can essentially poison the wider society until it's vulnerable to the hot war. That's the point of, and then Gramsci wrote this in his prison notebooks. I've read it. I just go, you can read it all. It's not secret. It's not even hard to understand. And they just say this. And this is what's going on in your republic right now. So being like, right, okay, we're just going to fuck the Supreme Court. It's like, well, that's you essentially like finishing the job for them, right? You don't want to see the end of the republic, but you do have to accept that you're in a kind of pre-Civil War
I would
era.
say that at this point, the position is that we must accomplish certain things, that they are non-negotiable, and that if they are not accomplished, that this country's done anyes.
Sure,
so what is the point of the pretense?
You need to do it within the system. You need to do it within the system. You have to.
If one of the reasons why things are so bad is the system itself, why bother?
It's not the system itself, it's the people controlling the system. And it's a group of radical left-wingers who have decided to... we can see the cathedral. We can see it. We can see the head of it. We can see the body of it. We can see the mouth of it. We can see the hands of it and the feet of it, where it's planted. It's all revealed to us. And it's like, okay, this is now wearing the United States like a skin suit, right? Okay, right? That's possible. But they didn't get there through force. They got there through using the institutions. Okay, well then do your own long march. It wouldn't be a very long march because the Republicans are actually quite entrenched in a lot of areas, right? So you got to accept that there is essentially a non-violent civil war going on in the United States right now. And I mean, I say non-violent, quote unquote, broadly speaking, non-violent. And the right has to just fight this battle. It can win because the right's point and positions are just so much safer than the left. So the lefts are crazy and they're dangerous, really dangerous. And so, but the right has to remove tolerance from the left in their own counties. So basically, you're going to have to essentially, like in Florida, DeSantis, I don't know what the limits of his power is, but basically I would be like being like, look, I'm basically going to outlaw socialism, right? I'm going to make sure that being a socialist is an illegal position because I'm going to call it terrorism at all points, because it essentially is. Mm. It essentially is. The goal of socialism is terrorism to liberals. It's the end of private property, and anything that they do that erodes private property, the liberals should be like, no, fucking no. We need to extend the amount of private property that the person gets to keep, as in lowering taxes. The Republicans, the liberals, should be framing it like this and saying no, and then trying to take people's property away from them using the state. No, that's illegal, and that's what you're doing.
Well,
so Yeah, they should be, and I realize, I'm taking this too far, but like, you know what I mean? They should be actively working in small ways to just erase the Democrats' presence in their own states, in the same way the Democrats have done to the Republicans.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a smart strategy. I think that ultimately you're right about that, that anything
And
that can basically...
You have to do that in order to prepare for the civil war that is coming.
Yeah, well...
Like, Tim Pool is not wrong. There is one coming, I think.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I would say that, ultimately, I mean, the thing is that if it actually came down to that, especially, it's one of the things that I begrudge you, is that, like, I'm not really wedded to the structure of the state. Like, I don't care. It's not really what makes America America, is simply...
I'm not saying it is, but what I'm saying is what you've got, right? And it's something practical you can do, rather than sitting there blue-balled until you fucking hero yourself.
No,
that's fucking stupid, and I don't want that, right? Because the thing is, you're going to need brave men when problems start, because you guys can't stop what's happening now, right? It's in motion, and it's been in motion for such a long time, and it takes such a long time to change people's ideas, engineer them in the way that the left has done. For the right to do it, it's going to take longer than it will be before the Civil War happens. So it's like, just get used to it. This is coming, and Tim Pool is definitely right when he was the one like, oh, we're going to have Civil War, Civil War. Yeah, it really does look that way. Like just from world historic forces that are in motion seem to be at a point where they're not stoppable. And so you just have to accept that this is going to happen. So the Republicans need to start like fortifying their areas to make sure there are no Democrat fucking traitors.
Right, but one of the things that's going to be required is that effectively what needs to be done is what's being done against us right now in the federal government, where they're forcing all the right-wingers out through the vaccine. That's one of the benefits of the vaccine mandate. They're forcing out the right-wingers, and they're going to be replacing them with their own freaking retards.
That is exactly what it's for. That's correct. That's completely correct. That's exactly the point of it.
Yeah. Well, I would say that basically in reverse, that's what needs to occur.
Everything they do is about fighting the war of position, right? And so, like, if it's every policy they take is designed to hurt the right, right? So no matter what, like, and that's the primary purpose of it, because this is why they're all with woke capital now, right? Okay, woke capital is going to become like morally subservient to the left. Okay, great. We don't care. You're full of resources. We're going to use that to erode right-wing thought from existence. I mean, that's literally where Marcuse takes it. Like, we need to just... he's totally for censorship, totally for repression, totally for all of these things, right? And he's just out and out saying it. And he radicalized generations of students. Critical theory. He is a critical theorist. He's one of the authors of critical theory. And this is what he was saying. It's like, okay, well, there we go. Every critical theorist is signed up to this fucking... deal, basically. It's mad. And this is why you get the total hypocrisy, and they don't care about the hypocrisy. Like, they don't care because they realize it's a strategy.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that basically my general point is that while I'm not against the idea of people acting upon principle and engaging in effectively good government,
Noble of you.
I am saying though that there are issues that we can no longer just, the path that's charted out before us to do everything by the book and do everything the right way.
The Civil War's coming. I agree. That the Civil War is coming. So what you need to do is start acting like the Democrats and rescind tolerance from the Democrats. Yeah. You need to treat them like they're Nazis. You need to treat them like they are terrorists, like they're here to overthrow the Republic, because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, if the Democrats can't object to their own fucking president telling the Supreme Court to get fucked, then you can rightly say, well, you're an enemy of the Republic, aren't you?
One of the things that I can't stand about the right is their inability to take advantage of, like, a genuine crisis to their own advantage.
They can't say that the Democrats are fucking doing the wrong thing, and it's insufferable.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I really want them to do is, I hope, like, if things continue to get worse and worse and worse as we head towards 2024... it would be the smartest thing in the world. Like, let's say Trump wins re-election. They can't fortify well enough. Trump wins re-election. Joe Biden dies the night before or something, and he wins. Okay? Trump gets power. If things are still in a terrible financial state, the economy's terrible, things are terrible, take advantage of that and start cleaving away at the federal government. Yep. Take advantage of a crisis. Declare a national emergency. Say, we can't pay our debt. We're going to go bankrupt. Something like, make it up. Make it up.
Yeah.
Use a crisis to your advantage for Christ's sake and start taking away the powers that the government has that is oppressing the right wing.
Yeah. Yeah. And this, like, make sure that the right wing flourishes in your state. Like, it's your state. It's a right wing state.
Yeah, well, that's the other. Benefit red states. Punish blue states. Deny blue states federal aid. Give federal aid to red states. Do something that is to your advantage.
This is what they've been doing to the right.
Florida, let's say, we're going to start a hurricane fund, and we're going to give $2 trillion to Florida. Why? Fuck you. Terrorism. Hurricanes. OSHA. Something. Make it up. Just start benefiting Team Red. Start hurting Team Blue. Because the answer is that eventually Team Blue is going to regain control of the government. Why not do as much as you can in the time that you have? Because Trump at max is going to have 4 years if he wins re-election.
I mean, he's got to understand at this point, if anyone understands, it's got to be Trump who understands that, holy shit, they are playing for keeps. Right?
Yeah.
They are not, they view the Republicans as evil.
And by all means, go to Congress and do everything by the book when it comes to naming the post offices or some shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the actual real deal, basically nation-defining issues, you can't spend 4 years sitting in a courtroom.
Yeah.
Because they did that with so many issues, including immigration, sat on their fucking ass and left it to lawyers. And it's like, these people are here illegally. Just get rid of them. If the government says no, do it anyways.
Yeah. That's what they should.
They have no fucking standing.
Especially in the face of Biden, they should be doing this. If he's going to,
they're literally just at face value using illegals to subvert the nation and to harm the right wing. They're using illegals to hurt Team Red.
Yeah,
it's so fucking simple.
That. They should all be saying.
If the federal government can force these people onto a plane and force them into Florida, why can't we force them onto a plane and force them out of the fucking country?
It is insufferable.
There's got to be some shithole in this country or in this world that we could ship these people to and pay them.
There are going to be loads. Because in fact, Portugal did exactly this with the EU, right?
Yes.
They were literally like, we will take loads of refugees because you're paying us to take refugees. And they're like, great, you're going to take care of the refugees? And they're like, no. You're not going to give them benefits? No. What do you mean? They can get jobs, can't they? And then the refugees left Portugal.
Because, like I say, it comes down to all you need is some kind of either an appeal to mandate, an appeal to authority, something that is simply just going to win over the fucking cattle of this society. And you could do whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
Since 9/11, that has been the fucking case. They're creating entire agencies out of nothing, out of an executive order. Boom! Every agency is now under the umbrella of this one agency. Everyone answers to this one. And that's it. That's all. No one challenged it. No appeals. No nothing. No one weighed the constitutionality of NSA bullshit. It was just, I say you can do it, so now you can do it. And it's just unbelievable to me. And this is why I push back on you. Because for 4 years, Trump was sitting there tugging on his dick, waiting hands on his knees, waiting in a fucking outside a courtroom, waiting for something to happen. And nothing did.
I know, but again, like I said, I don't think it was politically feasible for anything like that.
And like I say, what authority... By what constitutional justification is Joe Biden putting illegals onto a plane and shipping them to Florida? By what authority?
I agree.
He can do it, so he does it.
I know.
And the fact of the matter is that
this is what Trump should do when he gets back into office. If he can do it, do it. Like again, it's the fact that in fact, think about it. If it was someone else other than Trump, this probably wouldn't have been possible to see, right? It probably wouldn't have become self-evident that the Democrats are playing evil villains.
Yeah. But
So maybe there's actually some good that comes of that, right?
I suppose in terms of strategy, yes. I mean, strategy, you can definitely learn a lot from what the enemies do. But the problem is that never fucking responding in kind ever to anything.
Yes. But I think, though, let's be fair. Do you think Trump is going to be such a soft touch if he gets in again?
Yes.
You think so? You
Yes.
don't think he's going to be woke on the fortification issue?
No, he'll be woke on that. He'll be woke on that, perhaps, but do I think he'll be any less bureaucratic? No.
Well, no, I'm not saying that.
He will toe the exact same line as before. He will have nearly an identical group of people around him, and he will be taking bad advice for 4 fucking years.
Maybe, but like I don't know. I think that Trump would take actions against the left. I think he would fortify elections. You know, like the electoral process.
I would say that if given the real incentive to defy everyone around him, which he doesn't seem capable of doing, that he could actually do some good in certain ways, including on election integrity, that sort of thing. He could actually do certain things like that, especially if the Republicans... All I know is that I swear to fucking God, if the Republicans, they're geared to take the House back in 22, and let's pretend that the Senate is up for grabs in 22 and 2024, if that's even possible. If that occurs, if Trump wins re-election, I swear to fucking God that if they don't do anything once they control the House, the Senate, and the White House, if they don't do anything, that's it. That is it. I'm learning Mandarin. Fuck it. I'm done. I am fucking done.
Yeah. No.
Because because if you're weak, you deserve to be ruled in that way. If you set the stage for your own fucking failure because you're unwilling to do anything when having power, you deserve to be defeated.
I agree, but I think that Trump will do something. I mean,
it's not just up to him.
I know, but I think, but you say, if you've got power, use it. Well, I think he will. I actually do think he will.
I don't know. He talked a lot of shit and did very little when it came down to it.
But again, I said it wasn't justified, but it is now. And, he's the one saying the election was stolen. It was, okay, great. Get the presidency and make something change. I bet he puts really fucking stringent rules for fucking electioning in.
It's governed mainly by the states, so that's going to require him to actually do a far greater campaign to actually make that change. Got the power and use it. But what he actually has is the platform. I mean, if you went to, Florida and was like, we need to change the Florida, let Florida be the example. Ron DeSantis, get your thumb out of your ass and pass some election integrity laws. And, little Ronnie doesn't really want to do this. And, he can use that to actually put, real stink on other right-wing politicians, and that will then force the issue. But in terms of him actually governing... I think that's where he was at his weakest.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think just moving the window on loads of issues was important.
No, and I give him credit for that. I give him credit for actually moving. I think that he is responsible for the birth of the nationalist elements of the right wing. It is now back in force. And the right wing is still largely nationalist. The only problem is that the interventionalist angle still exists on the right. It's not anywhere near as big as it used to be, but it still exists.
I see such huge resistance to the foreign wars.
Yes,
the neo-lib consensus.
And the only other there's a few other things really, but the only other thing that the right is still just as bad on is Israel first bullshit.
Yes, it's cringe. I can't stand it.
Well, it's cringe for cringe's sake. But as I did in the one video I did a while back, is that Israel First itself is anti-liberal. It is against free speech. It's pro-censorship. It's pro-intervention across the seas.
It's also so totally cringe. Hearing Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham just pledge allegiance to Israel, basically.
Mike Pompeo is the worst.
Oh, he probably, yes. But I've seen loads of them do it, and it's all total cringe. And I'm just and I'm saying this from just the perspective of a patriot, right? Like, I don't have any problem with Israel existing. I think it's fine. Israel
No,
exists.
it comes
I
down
prefer it
to
over
like a
Palestine.
sign. It comes down to a sign of like, in quotations, Israel.
Fealty. That's what it is.
Yes, Israel first question
Fealty.
mark. Next response, like underneath it, why? Israel first, why?
Yeah, I don't know. And I totally agree with Ben Shapiro on this. I distinctly recall on his podcast him saying Israel's a big girl, can take care of herself. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Stop foreign aid to that. You don't need to send them money. They can take care of themselves. You're absolutely right.
Well, I'll say this.
And should.
I'll compromise. I'll compromise. Foreign aid. Explain why.
A lot of the time it's buying friends overseas.
Oh, I guess.
So
Well,
it's part of diplomacy and foreign policy.
I guess.
Not that
we really need to
aid.
buy. We really need to buy Israel's friendship. That's what we really need to do.
Look, and don't get me wrong. I hate foreign aid again from the nationalist perspective, but there is a kind of diplomatic perspective. That
Well,
isn't
I would say that America's hegemony is collapsing.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, one of the twin
But
towers.
it will collapse overnight if America stops giving other countries money.
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter is that, like, I don't know. I would say that when it comes down to it, like, I'm basically, you know, the last thread of a rope is there.
I know.
On me, and it, like, if I see any more shit from the United States promoting feminism, pedophilia, fucking LGBT horseshit, I see any more of that. Of like, oh, we're here in this country promoting pedophilia. It's like, you know what? How about fuck American hegemony? How about we're done? How about that? You know, you guys, good luck. Good luck, world. Good luck.
Hang on. I have a counter proposal. Wouldn't it be nice for Pakistan to have gender studies courses?
No, I don't care.
Oh yeah, it would.
I don't care.
Yeah,
let India take care of that. India can take care of it. I don't give a fuck.
Pakistan have the gender studies courses. They deserve it.
No.
Well, they do.
No. Because then they'll just come over here and jihadi us, so no.
Dude, they're already doing that in my country.
Yeah, I know.
They deserve the gender studies courses.
No, they deserve to be isolated over there.
No. It's not how it works, I'm afraid.
Whatever. In any
Millions
case,
of them over here, mate.
Yeah, no kidding. Guess says normal people...
No. Seriously, I
know there's Pakistani people in your country.
The curse of the West can be gender studies. Okay, let's spend the money on Pakistan. If we're going to spend it anywhere,
all they're going to do, what, dude? They're just going to take the money and spend it on military shit.
No, they won't, because they'll send zealots. There are Middle Easterners in the West, and they're all part of the Labour Party, who are total leftists in every fucking way. And it's like, okay, let's give them money.
So you're saying to send them to the
go
Middle
to
East
Pakistan and spread leftism.
Okay. So what you're saying is that we should deport people to Pakistan, is what you're saying.
No. Pay them to go and set up
Carl Benjamin, quote, deport gays to Pakistan. They get what they deserve.
I don't think we should do that at all. No, a lot of them are women. No, listen, I'm not saying deport. I'm saying offer them jobs.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
Very well-paid jobs, right, to teach gender studies in Pakistan.
I don't really know. I don't know what point you're trying to make, but no. How about that?
What has that done to our civilization?
It's destroyed it. But how are you going to make a shithole? Well, how are you going to make? It's already a shithole country. You're going to make it worse?
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It really worked for us in Afghanistan.
Let them have the gender studies.
It really worked for us in Afghanistan.
Honestly, that's because you didn't.
Well, we did teach it there, didn't we?
No.
We did.
You didn't have. Listen. You didn't have millions of Afghans in America becoming Americanized. That's what you didn't have.
Whatever. Let's just leave it. I don't want to talk about it. Fuck it. American hegemony is like basically an evil empire promoting fucking sex pesting to fucking across the world.
Well, it's like that with the Chinese hegemony, man.
Whatever.
And that's not going to be good. That's going to be evil.
No, it's going to be completely materialist freaking shit. But I mean, are we better
extracting the world's wealth? That's what it's going to be. It's going to be China acting towards the world the way the Democrat Party acts to Republicans.
Whatever.
That's all it's going to be. Because that's all it was.
My concern with the difference is lessening every single day. I really am, like I said, just that last thread on the rope. I don't care. Because, honestly, half this world deserves what it's going to fucking get.
Well, I mean...
All they did was live big and just talk shit when the United States was running the world. All they did was fucking... enrich themselves and sit back and let Americans pick up the fucking receipt. But they're going to get what they fucking deserve if China takes power.
Yeah, and, I'm not going to weep for anyone.
Anyways. Where are we?
All right, it's midnight here, so I should probably go to bed.
All right, you have anything left to say?
No, just this has been fun, as always.
Yeah,
nice to get black-pilled about the future of the
world.
Yeah,
I was going to say, there's a little bit black-pilling towards the end.
Civil War.
Yeah.
And
everything's shit and everything's shit and fuck the Supreme Court and
basically, yeah.
Oh, we never watched the Tim Pool video.
Oh, okay. Well, should we end on that?
All right, hang on. It
is fucking.
There's no
gold.
audio. Hold on, let me make it bigger. Oh, is there a way to make it bigger but not make it full screen?
Not to my knowledge, to be honest.
All right, I'll just
let me know when you're going to play it, because
all right. No, let me know.
How's that? Yeah, I need to. Where the fuck has it gone?
It's muted. Okay.
Right. Okay.
You good?
Yeah. Let me know when.
All right. I'm playing it in 3, 2, 1.
I mean, if these allegations that we're seeing,
these people are
true,
evil.
I'm asking myself, who?
Adam Goldman of the New York Times.
Whoa,
evil.
Curb it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
We've got to stop playing these games. This is a guy who got privileged legal communications under the United States Constitution and our laws and norms. You have a right to legal counsel. And the guy at the New York Times gleefully published this from a rival organization. Why? They want this country to burn. They want power, and they will get it by any means necessary, and they will use the power of the federal government to do it. I am looking at all of you right now, and I am telling you this. The police will kick your door in and bash your teeth out the moment Black Lives Matter protests you. We've already seen it happen. You think this is a joke? James O'Keefe's legal privileged communications were just given to the New York Times, and Adam Goldman, with a smile on his face, published it. He doesn't care about this country. He doesn't care about our norms. These people are at war with you, and they will burn your life to the ground like they're doing to Rittenhouse and like they're doing now to James O'Keefe because you dare oppose their power grab. This is not a joke, and it is getting worse. And in the next 10 years, as we enter the fourth turning and it escalates, it is going to get worse. James O'Keefe is a journalist. The federal government stole his privileged legal communications and gave it to the New York Times, who published it with a smile on their faces. These people do not hold your values. They do not believe in the Constitution.
Based.
The prosecutor in the Rittenhouse case violated the Constitution. They will do it again. They will do it more, and they will burn down your town, and the feds will protect them, and the police will protect them. Stop thinking the institutions are on your side. This country is being corrupted, and we are watching it every day, and it has gotten to the point where you need to ask yourself, will the police protect you when someone comes to your town and threatens to kill you? No. The detectives in Kenosha, the prosecutor, went against the young man who was fleeing for his life. And James O'Keefe, an anti-establishment individual, and I mean that with respect, but he is outright just a journalist, is facing the boot of the authoritarian fascist government. And it will get worse, and it will happen to you because you keep complying. And you keep saying, but my kids need food. And now inflation is here, and there's food shortages, and your kids aren't eating. And the schools are indoctrinating your kids. Now we see a turnaround with Youngkin because the parents are standing up. But too many people keep saying, as long as I keep filleting the state and dropping on my knees for the far left extremists, I will squeak by, and you will not. The police will come to your home. They will kick your door in and they will arrest you because the good cops have already started quitting. And like we saw in Seattle, the police arrested the man who was retreating from Antifa as Antifa approached them with clubs in hand. And they apologized to Antifa over it. Like we saw in the Chaz, when several men unloaded hundreds of rounds into an SUV, and then the extremists stripped the evidence from the vehicle, and none of those people are brought to justice. And now we are at the point where Project Veritas is having their private, privileged, legal communications leaked to the New York Times, who with a smile on their face violate all norms, all respect, and lack all scruples. And you think sitting back and complying will result in you getting by. You are wrong. I'm sick of this.
You want to wait for Jade?
Jade's here.
I'm here.
Nickelodeon's playing. Shut up!
Yeah.
All right.
Wasn't that a fucking... That was such a brilliant rap.
It was a good rap. I really like him making fun of people, but I got kids. I really like him making fun of that.
And that's why you should do it. Fuck's sake. Yeah. You know,
well, that's
because
I've
got kids that I'm an activist.
People use it as an excuse not to do anything and just to comply with everything.
Yeah. It's like, well, look at what you're handing to them. Look at the civilization you're giving your kids.
I know.
It's one ruled by actual fascists.
Yeah.
Like, not even... It's fucking insane. How can you be like, oh, but I'm afraid? It's like, well, yeah, okay, we're all afraid now. Like, fuck's sake. Honestly, I'm genuinely worried about the future in the United States, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I pretty much realized this whenever I started using the Clown World Decade. Whenever I started using that phrase, is pretty much when I knew, like, this is going to be it. Like, it's just going to get more absurd, and the opposition is just going to like, they're going to stop giving any kind of shit, and that's where we are. You know, so far I've been fulfilled in that prediction that this is how the way things were going to go. And
unfortunately, that seems to be the case.
And I just really wish that, you know, I don't know. I mean, if Trump gets in again, I mean, maybe on some off chance, like somebody smacks him in the head and he has some sort of awakening that, you know, things desperately need to change. And basically, if there is going to be like a Poolean, you know, civil war, that our side is fully prepared. And
well, that's what I'm trying to say.
And honestly, if basically the Democrats are going to get back the government in 4 years, spike it, you know, just set them up for failure the minute to take power. And, you know, if things are going to go down, then let it at least go down on our terms rather than theirs.
Yeah. Get prepared.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess you got to go for tonight. So thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. It's always nice to create incriminating evidence with you.
Yeah. I don't think you said anything that's in any way against any policy or any norm.
Just to finalize with, I disavow everything about Louis Le Vau.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right, speak to you later, man.
All right. See you later, man. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right, so we got some super chats, and thank you for Carl for stopping by tonight. I think it was a good conversation. Roe Crusader says, Yiz the Eunuch has the best take on Kyle Rittenhouse. The only crime Kyle committed that night was littering because all the trash he dropped on the streets. Getz says, normal people are getting less and less to lose. Their money is devaluing before their eyes, and now their ability to make income is at risk. They have less to lose the more active they get. Yeah, I agree. King Spectre says, for 650, it suddenly occurred to me, I don't think the pastor has ever done a stream with AIU, Devin Tracy's, because he's been banned for a long time, dude. So, despite some of your differences, I think the two of you would have a very productive conversations regarding the criminality of joggers. Yeah, that would be the last day my channel exists. If I had Devin Tracy on here to talk about jogging, like, that would be it. My channel would be gone. I get 3 strikes in a day. That'd be it. Glowy says, I work in hospitals that are not using the OSHA mandate to get vaccine compliance in the medical field. They're threatening to withdraw Medicare and Medicaid funds. Getz says, it's immoral to play by rules that clearly only apply to you. It's immoral to play by rules that clearly only apply to you. Yes. Made by your enemies. I agree with you. Remember what I told you on Neo's stream, Carl. One day we have to stop the disavow game. Yes, you're on YouTube for now. The sword will fall one day. Well, I agree. I honestly agree. Not to really put put Carl on the spot, but I agree. Eventually, he's going to get banned. High Volt Switch says for 1587, which I'm not sure is a reference. Here, Pastor, from the shithole that is Canada. Well, I'm sorry you live there, bro. We're not much better, honestly. Glowy says, send all the illegals to Congo. Half will just go home. The others will go to Congo and probably get infected with it by Ebola. And oh darn, we need to stop the flights or we might have another COVID pandemic. That's pretty smart. I like your thinking there, Glowy. That's good thinking right there. Get says, is it wrong? I'm thinking of going to Asia to find someone when I'm ready to date and marry, and Western women just seem so tainted. Not all, Geth. I have had plenty of exposure to young white women recently, and I would say that there's a good quarter that are good wife material. A good quarter that are good wife material. A quarter that are fucking insufferable cunts. And then about 50% that are basically on a spectrum from one to the other. So that's how I'd rate white women. Is that a quarter of them are good wife material. Very cute, very feminine, very much attractive in that way. A quarter are just insufferable fucking... And what's funny, too, about them is that a lot of these women, despite whatever class they're a part of, they behave in wiggery ways. Like, they behave like wiggers. It's really weird. Like, they remind me of wigger men, these white girls that are of that quarter. Like, they act tough. And it's, like, really stupid. So, yeah. I would say that the minority of white women are tainted, but it's about 50% of women that are on a spectrum of good to bad. But at least there's that quarter of white women that are good wife material. For other demographics, I don't really know. Anyways. So yeah, once again, thanks to Carl for stopping by tonight. He had another stream. We were going to do it yesterday, but he had another stream to do yesterday, so I got double booked, and he got double booked, rather, so we had to schedule that for today, but I'm glad we did it tonight. I think it was a good conversation. So if you got any other questions or other comments, feel free to get them in now, because otherwise I'm going to go out and get something to eat. Probably go for a jog, even though it's cold out. So if you got anything else to say, get it in now while we still got time. I'm glad we got through all the articles. You know, we got through all the articles I wanted to cover tonight. So that was cool. You know, it was a good stream so far. Actually pretty productive. Got through quite a bit tonight. And when this is over, I'll post, when I get a chance tonight, I'll post on Subscribestar, and I'll put it on social media, the explanation of what happened with the last stream. Oh, I forgot to hang up the call on Discord. Whoops. Adherent of Lady Columbia says, I'm incredulous towards the notion of a civil war, but a very slow and drawn-out 1,000 cuts until the other side goes down. My bets are right now Mao will win out slowly, but it will be slow, painful, infuriating, and ultimately historically right. I'm not really sure. Like, the notion of a civil war, like, it being, like, an actual hot war, I really doubt. I could see certain things happening, being violent, but I don't know that it'll ever be anything quite like that. Oh, Carl just sent me something. Matt Getz says he wants to hire Kyle Rittenhouse as an intern. That's hilarious. That's funny. He should. He should. Matt Getz should do that. I got really mixed feelings about Matt Getz, but this would actually be him putting his neck out there a little bit and doing something good. At least for Kyle. Kyle's life is fucked. So at least give the guy a chance to actually earn some money and make a living, learn more about politics and stuff. So yeah, I think that this is probably just posturing, but if he actually did something like this, he would deserve credit for it, because it would at least help Kyle. And there's another one. Lauren Boebert goes scorched earth on Dems. Jihad Squad member from Minnesota. Oh yeah, that's right. Arizona GOP. This is what I mean about fucking talking about like what's been going on. Is that Paul Gosar got removed from 2 committees over nothing. Over absolutely fucking nothing. It's just really pathetic. And the problem is the Republican Party will never back him.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Democrat policies are so pathetic and have done so poorly that the left has nothing else to do but troll the internet looking for ways to get offended and then try to target members and strip them of their committees. This is a dumb waste of the House's time. But since the Speaker has designated the floor to discuss members' inappropriate actions, shall we? The Jihad Squad member from Minnesota has paid her husband, and not her brother husband, the other one, over $1 million in campaign funds. This member is allowed on the Foreign Affairs Committee while praising terrorists. A Democrat chairwoman incited further violence in the streets outside of a courthouse. And then the cherry on top. My colleague and 3-month presidential candidate from California, who is on the Intelligence Committee, slept with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy. Let me say that again. A member of Congress who receives classified briefings was sleeping with the enemy. This is unacceptable.
Wow. Well, that's good. That was a nice speech. They're like, oh man, she's sleeping with a, he was sleeping with a spy. Get off of it, get off of it. Watch High Guardian Spice. It's Life is Strange 2, Levels of Cringe. Here's a 1-minute clip. I don't know. For 657 Rogue Crusader, maybe. I don't know. I've heard of this. I don't really want to watch it though. Hold on, let me get this up so I can see it. I don't think there's going to be any copyright in the stream, so I don't really want to risk that.
Lavender and I met when we were students here together.
Jesus, what is the fucking... Wow, why is it so pixelated?
Our first year. We were a lot like you and your friend Sage, actually.
What? How?
Totally inseparable. This was our first everything hours. Dorks.
Mom looked so fierce in the uniform. Is that your sister?
It's me, actually.
You're a girl?
I'm transgender. I was born into a female...
You're a girl?! Oh, man. That's hilarious. Well, I guess thanks to the laugh. I don't want it. My whole channel get copyrighted and banned for hate speech if I did anything against that. Oh shit, where are we? Glowy says, how do we take down Woke Streets? Tariffs? Maybe. That wouldn't be... I mean, there's a lot of, like, very long-winded, like, answers to how you take down corpos and that sort of thing. It's another day. I meant right of Mao as in the right will win. The scenario we are in is akin to Italian years of lead phenomenon that makes sense to me. Ultimately, I do believe we will slowly heal our nation, Louis. Also, will one of the parties fall soon? Not in this country. Maybe in the UK, but not in this one. But thank you, Rogue Crusader, for that cringe. Because that was pretty brutal right there. But it was funny, at least. I enjoyed it. People in the chat are like screaming. Oh no, chat, no! I'm turning the chat suicidal because of the cringe. That was funny, though. That was funny. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I've met, actually, a couple of trans men while at my job, and all I can say is that I've seen one who basically, quote-unquote, passed, I guess, as a man, but my question is, like, why? Why? Like, oh, I'm a man trapped in a woman's body. It's like, well, then be a fucking bull dyke, why don't you? Why, like, you're never really going to be a man, and you're never ever going to accept responsibility, so you'll never really be the ideal man, because you're a woman, and you'll never accept responsibility. So, yeah. Unfortunately, for women, trans men, I'm like, my mind is bouncing around, transferring, transmogrifying. Transitioning is the word I'm looking for. Any woman that wants to become a man is going to have to take responsibility. And if you're not willing to do that, you're never going to be a man. So there are no such thing as trans men, because women are incapable of taking responsibility. Bazinga! Ba-boom! Oh, shit. Anyways, is that it for tonight? Any other comments before I go get something to eat? I'm questioning what I should get. I was thinking about getting like a spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's, but it's only 7, so it's not that late at night. Maybe I'll get some pizza. I don't know. Nah, I don't know. I don't know if I feeling like pizza. Don't know. Oh, shit. Alright. Is there anything else before we go, ladies and gentlemen? Is there anything else? We haven't really had very many people watching this, but I appreciate all the people that have been putting in super chats. I got a very dedicated viewer base that have been watching this, so I very much appreciate for those of you who turned out tonight to watch this. Not very many people, but still got a lot of super chats in that, and I appreciate it. Guess says we're currently in an epidemic of 20-something male loneliness. In 10 years will come the epidemic of 30 female loneliness, and the marketing will be completely different. It will be presented as a great tragedy. Yeah, it seems like a lot of Zoomer women are not having sex and are not in relationships. So I guess that's like one of the positive sides for Zoomers is, hey, Zoomers, your females are no longer as big a whores as the millennials were, but also you're incapable of getting a relationship. So I guess it is what it is in that effect. Glowy says, identify as president for life. Now everyone I counterman all Biden's decisions. Okay. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, that's pretty much what Biden did, was identify as president and then just ran with it, in my view. Bushy in the chat says, can we get a Copcast? Not today, but you would be surprised how much footage I'm currently holding on to. Got a lot of footage, way too much footage, so there might be a Copcast in the not too distant future, so long, provided I can actually stream on my own for the goddamn main channel. When will those strike-related restrictions be lifted, Pastor Louis? It's going to be 4 days from now. So, I guess, next Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what they actually mean and the hours. So Monday at the earliest, but most likely Tuesday or Wednesday. And when it does, I'll upload this stream to my main channel. Oh yeah, I got some juicy fucking content for cop videos. Pretty crazy. All right. Louis, did Timothy McVeigh do anything wrong? Oh man. You talking about my homie Tim McVeigh? I mean, I guess didn't that FBI building have a kindergarten in it or something? I would say that's pretty fucked up. Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't, hurt little kids. That's pretty fucked up for him to do. It's just amazing how, like, in the future, everyone looks back at all these, like, anarchist types, like the anti-government people, and they're like, oh, they're so based and shit. It's like, I don't know. I mean, some of them have a point about what the future is going to be, especially whatever the Unabomber, whatever him, Ted Kaczynski, who wrote about, like he's an anarcho-primitivist or whatever it was, and he wrote about the future and how bleak it was. It's like some of the stuff he actually talks about is right, but I don't know if bombing random people is actually the way to fix it. Oh man, getting Sargon on to co-host cop. Here, hold on. I'll message him right now. I'll message him right now about that. Okay, I messaged him. We'll see if we get anything back. Yeah. In any case, last few things, guys, because I've been spreading this out, and I want to get this over with, because I want to go get something to eat. But yeah, it seems like despite everything, despite getting the strike, and having to push back the stream, and all this different stuff, I think things went well tonight. I'm very appreciative towards all of you, towards Carl. I'm glad everything worked out. I was afraid that things was going to be all fucked up, but it seems like everything has been going good, and I'm very grateful that everything's worked out in the end. So I'll see what Carl sends back to that idea of co-hosting Copcast. That would be fucking wild, bro. That would be fucking wild. I can only imagine what that would be like if we actually did it. I think that would be a wild fucking stream. I'm pretty sure he'd be like afterwards, Louis, take that down, get it off. Oh, shit. No, I'm not doing a Copcast today. If we're going to do a Copcast, I'm doing a full Copcast. It's not going to be today. We'll do that another time. I got to be on my main channel if I'm going to do that. Alright, is there anything else before we stop tonight? Anyone else got anything else that needs to be said or whatever else before we end things? Like I'll reiterate that I'm going to post a subscribe star message with exactly what happened with the last stream, along with the video that got struck down by YouTube. I got links to that in that post as well. So I'll have that out tonight. Anything else though, guys? Yeah, this stream is gonna stay up. I'm gonna re-upload it on my main channel in a week when I can do so. I've already said, someone said in the chat, says give us a hard R. I've already said nigger like twice in this stream. So there's the third time. Third time's the charm. It's old hat at this point. Alright, it looks like we're pretty much done. I guess we're pretty much done here. So I'll get into the summary or the conclusion of this. As always, I'd like to thank Carl of Akkad, Don's Carlos, for stopping by tonight. I'm glad that we're able to make this stream work. I'm very glad that he's been frequenting my channel so much as of late. It seems like a lot of you are very glad that he's been doing that too. I apologize what happened with last week's stream. I'll answer that in a blog post, effectively, in a few hours or so, whenever I have a chance to post it. So you'll see what happened there. I'd like to thank Carl for stopping by tonight, of course. I'd like to thank those of you who tuned in tonight, even though this is on my secondary channel. I'd very much like to thank those of you who donated tonight, because it seemed like we had plenty of super chats in that tonight, despite all the reasons why it wouldn't be the case. We still had plenty of super chats coming in, so I appreciate that. People following the link, supporting this channel. I very much appreciate that. Very much appreciate those of you who subscribe to me and supporting me over on Subscribestar. Very much thank you for doing that. And, yep, that's about it for tonight. Hopefully next time we could be back on the main channel. Be doing, everything per normal. No changes. And I got no idea what's coming in the near future, because we got a couple days until the hard deadline at my place of work for the vaccine mandate. 4 days until the vaccine mandate goes in. And I should be, losing my job. We'll see what happens. I have no idea, but, it's a damn shame, because the job, for what it is, it's okay and I can do it. But we'll see what occurs. But in any case, thanks, guys, for stopping by tonight. I hope you enjoyed this stream and the conversation with Carl. And we'll see if we can do that sometime in the near future, and including with some other content in the near future. All right? Have a good night, everybody.